Why, hello there, everybody. Welcome to the very last session of City-States of Klovisa, the God War, semicolons, all around. And I am so happy to say we are all here for the finale. Thank you all for making it. Christmas is
Where's
right
my
around the
20 bucks you
corner.
promised me?
I'm sad.
You know, Brandon, you don't want to know
No.
the answer to that question.
Uh-oh. I want to know.
You'll know in good time. Eric, how are you doing?
Hi, Jonathan. Have you ever woken up to water pouring into your master bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have. Happened
No
on Wednesday
shot.
last week. It was not great. So found out that the roof busted a leak onto the deck, and the deck busted a leak into the master bedroom. So there were about 10 gallons of water in my basement. It was great. So I got to go up on the roof and solve that problem, and then probably spend $10,000 fixing it. So it's been a great week. It's just
Cycle of
bangers.
home
Shit.
renovation continues.
Hey, is anyone else a little turned on with all his lesbian talk?
I drive a Subaru, right?
Brandon, I think that's a good segue into how are you doing?
I'm doing good there, Bob. Doing good.
Good to hear there, Brandon. Devin, how are you?
I'm doing great, John. Middle of moving out, and it's a fucking hassle. For every military people out there, out processing from Ramstein, literally the worst place to out process for them. It's a fucking shit show. I hate it. But, yeah.
It really is. It really fucking is.
Merry Christmas! CK, how are you doing?
It's what am I doing, John?
What are you doing?
It's one of those sessions.
Hell yeah.
Hey, hell yeah.
Fuck it, who cares?
It's
Rumble
what
Roar,
it's what I'm doing.
aka Nick, how are you?
Well, sad that we're ending, but a little happy to finish this story. Because I don't know how it's
too.
going to end.
I do.
Neither do I. And finally, last but not least, Runt, I am pulling out the clock. How are you doing?
Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of City-States of Klovisa Update Showcase. We're going live with the brand new launch of 1.0. That's right, 1.0. We are launching with the God Ward now. Right now, you can sign up with Fast Pass. That's right, John, Dungeon Master, Fast Pass for only $24.99 a month. You too could become the Tyrant of Tulst with a brand new legendary champion known as the King of Uletha. That's right, for $24.99 a month, you too can become the Tyrant of Tulst with the John Fast Pass. With Update 1.0, we've got 4 brand new champions, including Hephaestus, Ozark, also known as Hephaestus, and guess what? Tyrant with a brand new skin, known as the Clone of Hephaestus. Coming in right on his heels, you have, of course, the entire political team as one big skin. That's right, you too can again, for $24.99, become the Tyrant of Tulst and have a brand new set of champions with City-State of Klovisa Update 1.0. Back to you, John.
But
Thank you
wait,
so much
there's
for that
more.
incredibly timed advertisement, Gibby. A round of applause. Thank you so
Brought
much.
to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
That's the end credit. We're gonna put that one in the middle of our segue. That way you don't know when the ad's coming, and your hand is just on the skip button like it's a
What
trigger
about
on a
the
gun.
Con one?
My
But
biggest
that's
point
when
is
you-
there's not a new Raid Shadow Legends.
Yes, the trees and titles scam. I think we're gonna go with that one now.
Can we add a parenthetical to the title sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends?
Yeah.
I
And
am
then you have to also
legally
say,
not allowed to do
Some
that.
sci-fix man group are not limited to
That'll be on the back of the
diarrhea, psychotic breakdowns, suicidal thoughts and tendencies, and anal bleeding.
Every time I play with you, all 4 of those things happen.
Unironically, during break times, I've just had to take diarrheas pretty consistently during Mondays. It's
It's your hot dog diet, brother.
Burritos on Sunday, okay? Calm down.
Alrighty. Well, we had 2 people who weren't here last week, so I'm gonna give them both the equal opportunity recap. You may split this, you may share this recap, however you 2 wish to do it, but I want to hear it.
Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Every other word we say, alright? Just those improv things.
dude, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
So, last
Week.
we
Were.
in
Maelstrom.
and
Shit.
went
Down.
What a recap! We did a full sentence, boys!
hell yeah.
Man, I had no idea where we were going with that, and it worked.
It worked.
Team.
Right, dude.
10 words. That was a difficult one, but I am glad we got through. But what really happened, Devin?
So, after the bar blew up with Bilbo Baggins, my great uncle, who loves me very much, still provided the resources to bring back one of the prince's loved ones and promised to build a statue in his name for doing so. Then it was we had to go into do the thing to make the prince the king. Just had to go into the castle and sneak in there. And so for some reason, we thought the best way to do this was like have the team split up into like 5 different things.
Why don't I cut you off there so that Rumble Roar can have a shot at the grand prize?
So, somehow, Chad ended up with Derek, somehow, to go
Right.
sort out his daddy issues and or provide a distraction?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. A distraction was provided. And there's a lot of stuff up in the air waiting on our actions before we end the time bubble and the God War. Semicolon, dash. John.
Sounds good. Then we are going to ignore the rest of the party and focus on you two. Rick and Chad. I don't remember what day it is. I think it's sometime in May? I think it might actually be the 2nd of May.
Wait, I thought it was the 6th of December.
Actually, it's the 5th of December.
Fucking
It's a 6 over here.
Euroland time. Everyone knows Europe doesn't exist, Devin.
True.
Unbelievable. You two stare at one another. Having been ejected, split up from your party, Chad having apparently taken responsibility to make sure Rarick is the best distraction he can possibly be. And correct me if I'm wrong, party, but when I rolled for Rarick, he rolled a natural 1, right?
He sure fucking did.
Man,
Yeah, I
what a
saw it.
shitty roller. Even when he's not here, he rolls like hot garbage.
What an idiot.
It was fucking beautiful.
Oh. Well then, apparently you are going to have to describe to me how this natural 1 distraction goes off, you two. And I cannot wait to hear it.
Where
So
are
without-
we again? Set the scene real fast on what we need to be distracting
You were
from
in
what?
Maelstrom. You were supposed to go up and distract the garrison that stands before the palace itself. And I leave it in your hands there.
I think John also, you described me with a boombox trying to get my
Yeah.
father's attention.
You know, I
So,
think I
I'm
did.
not-
Yeah, that's ringing a lot of
Yeah.
bells. You can add 1 boombox to your sheet. It weighs 25
Awesome.
pounds.
25 pounds for a boombox. That's like
Yeah.
Old timey,
goddamn.
baby.
Well, I'm carrying that boombox. It's playing it's playing Linkin Park.
In the end,
Wake me up
yeah.
wake me up.
when September.
No, that's Blink
ends.
182.
Oh my god, John, no it's not.
Spiders in my eyes. There's spiders.
Oh my god, I'm getting triggered left and right. Green Day asshole.
You would not believe your
No, that's
eyes.
Sum 41, dipshit.
I
All
too
right.
Oh my
love
god.
weed.
Oh, it's what you do to me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, that's
it's
Blue
actually
October.
playing-
I recognize Blue October
Yeah.
anywhere, Nick.
It's playing Numb by Linkin Park.
Nickelback.
Nickelback, yeah. Numb by Nickelback,
Yeah,
actually.
Chad Kroger, the ogre.
Please stop.
Alrighty.
I'm just holding it.
Hey, you guys have an hour. If you want to just do jokes and puns for it, I will walk us off
actually
stage
listening.
left once we hit that 15-minute mark to 7.
I'm actually listening to Numb by Linkin Park right now, so I'm in character.
Chad walks up. Rick, what are we trying to achieve with this again? We need to distract people. Why are we?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my dad's attention.
Is
Do you
your dad-
hear me, Dad?
A small
You know, you're-
crowd is beginning to gather as you play. In the end...
No, I'm playing Numb. No.
I don't know numb.
How-
You're making me numb. My fucking brain. You're feeding
know
the
all the
wrong
lyrics
wolf
to Numb,
today,
I could
Devin.
I
sing it
tried
right
so
now.
hard, song. Tried so hard.
And got so far.
Yeah.
In the end, it didn't even matter.
I'm listening to the song right now, John, and it says that. I don't know what to tell you.
You downloaded off of Kazaa in the early 2000s?
You're listening to In the End. What are you talking about?
It says Numb in Spotify.
John, can he just start singing Hit Me Baby one more time since he got that one?
Yeah, he can.
He failed miserably, so instead of singing Linkin Park, it has to be Britney Spears.
Yeah. Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet.
You start singing "Toxic" by Britney Spears, talking about your dad.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
Takes a step back,
Yeah.
uses the Polaroid camera he has, and takes a snapshot of this moment. He wants to remember this dumb
Katy
fuck.
Perry's Californian Girls dance crew is just...
You like introduce
of
culture
Rick
to this
with
country for the first time ever.
Oof.
Does my dad respond?
Eventually,
Not well.
yes. As more and more people come to see the absolute clown fiesta you have single-handedly brought to the table within a storm, your father slowly calls out behind the doors, "Open the gate!" And after it opens just a little bit, and he steps out, looks at Chad first, addresses Chad first. "I thought you said he'd never come back."
To be fair, I'm not entirely sure why I'm the one in charge of him right now, but we're here, right? Hey, can I talk to Argyle while you fuck up your kid for a little bit?
He's not here right now.
How is Argyle not here right now?
Because he doesn't work for the king when an usurpation is taking place.
So now I'm really unsure of why I'm here. Was I supposed to kill you? No, that's the wrong dad. Fuck. Argyle's not here for snacks. Rarick, I'm talking to your fucking dad. You have something to say?
Dad, you were toxic in my life.
Ooh, the crowd.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Chad takes a small step to the side so that the man has a clear shot to lightning bolt his son.
He's
if need
not.
be.
He won't lightning bolt. Instead, he's gonna break your boombox with a special spell called Shatter. And if we all know what Shatter is, for inorganic objects, it has a disadvantage on its saving throw. I'm looking for the natural, too.
Oh,
Your boombox, 25 pounds, but only 2 hit points, explodes upon your shoulders. As any good wizard and player character does, he does it in such a way where he won't hit his true target. Because he, too, knows how to play with geometry.
You know what, Dad? Fuck you.
You came all the way back for that? You could have done that in a goddamn letter.
You should have done it in a goddamn letter and stopped wasting our time.
I'm
Out
tired
with
of
it,
you
child.
Criticizing me. Stop criticizing me.
Be
No.
better!
I am better than you, and he will. For the final time, cast Bigsby's hand.
Alright,
Oh, I
Timmer,
put-
pay him out!
my channel
go.
points, dude! My channel points!
Oh,
He does.
As we fade on the scene of Rarick summoning a hand to strangle his father, we do a quick cutaway to Chad.
Oh my god, I got so many channel points. Sorry, cut away.
Chad!
Wait, did they bet on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
When you cast Bigsby's hand.
I didn't even know.
Now, Tamer is the one who initiated it, so he did not hear the warning I had for you. Chad, we are doing a flash forward to after the events of last session. Your team is getting on a boat, having a statue commissioned of them, or becoming a full-blown noble now. For those of you who did not watch the previous session, what the fuck are you doing at the finale? Go watch the last session. Chad, you stand with your companions, the Tulse crew, Leishtung, Syl. That's it, actually, because I don't think Rarick's coming home. I don't think he's going back to Tulse.
Also, this guy's in Mystere, so...
Yeah, Rakoris, also known as Samwise Gamgee. He's in Mystere.
Where's Runt again?
He's a Baron now. I'm trying to find the correct music for this.
So
This-
it's
They're in, John.
I still have Toxic playing in the background.
No, that's way too happy.
You're welcome.
So it's myself and Rarick and Syl and Leishtung. Yeah?
Not
That's-
Rarick, I don't think.
Not rare.
Alright.
Rarick is either getting court-martialed or put under house arrest.
What?
So,
We'll get
promise you won't come find me and murder me after all this is done?
No.
back.
What do you got going on after this, bud?
Well, technically, you owe me money, so I'll be waiting for that.
How much do I owe you again? I have some money on me. I'll give you everything I have. Wasn't it like 600? I've got 350. I got about 350 gold.
I brought you back to life 6 times.
You don't have that anymore. John took it off for, I forget what.
Wait, hang on. I've got this embarrassing picture of Rarick holding up a jukebox, getting embarrassed by his father. Oh no, this hasn't happened yet. We flashed backwards. I'm sorry, John.
No, we flashed forwards. You have
Oh, hey,
life-size images of that moment now.
you want this really embarrassing picture of Rarick standing in the rain holding a jukebox? This jukebox got shattered.
Now, my question though is, does he
What is
look?
a jukebox?
Does he look super sad, like he's crying?
John, does he look super duper sad in the picture?
I'd
In my
say so.
head canon, he's fucking weeping.
I think
Like,
he's
wow.
yelling. He's in the tears are like screaming. There's a snarl on his face.
He's in the middle of saying, and she said, she's so lucky. She's a star. But she cried with her lonely heart. I canned this to Syl and say those words one more time so he never forgets them. You have a photo of a Rarick with a jukebox.
Look at this photo.
Or excuse me, not a jukebox, a boombox. I wrote down jukebox.
Every time I do, it makes
I
me
need to
laugh.
give you something. I've been molting as of late, and I wanted to give you a piece of me.
I'm not a big fan of feathers. Just don't throw it at me.
It's not feathers. I molt like my skin. Like I just got ashy, so I took that skin off. So I wanted to give you some.
Oh, you're a snake now. Okay, cool. Thanks. Can I? Do you have like a? Chad puts it in. Oh no, not the pack of cigs. I want to use that again.
You have that for. If there's one thing you haven't learned, there's a reason why I'm giving you something that is so outrageous, but something that is very, very much me.
Did I ever tell you that jar of dirt came in super duper handy? Fuck, that was Gorgor. God damn it. I drink way too much as this character.
No, still did have jars of dirt, and he had alcohol.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. A lot of people have died.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't kill me. I'll kind of miss you. Thanks for not letting me die a lot.
Well, if you keep that and you ever need me, just know I'm not gonna be there, just like Dad.
Yeah, that's true. He's never was there.
No, he
Sill
won't.
skin is being added to character sheet.
Yes. It actually weighs 20 pounds because that came from my bottle.
I'm gonna get rid of my tent that I'm carrying around just so I can carry around 20 pounds of sill skin.
But that
That's
should be enough.
perfect.
So if you ever want to do scrying and find me in order to, if you ever need me, you can get to me.
Bad scoffs and says, "Scrying? Do I look like a bitch to you? No.
I mean, I've saved you how many times? And how many times?
If I want to find you, I'll find you. Rather, you'll find me? I don't know, man. Just don't kill me. I respect you.
That's fair. Fine.
Alright. I'm gonna go fuck off and have a
You're gonna
heartfelt
pitch up
moment with my
Sill's tent.
now.
Now, before you do, though,
Oh, is this what's happening?
it's time to die.
No. We're not
Aw.
doing PvP.
Fine, John.
You fuckers get on the boat and start heading to Tolst. Gifts laden with, well, arms laden with gifts. Tokens of affection, treasures that must be delivered to the tyrant, as well as a full-blown armistice treaty that he wants your governor slash dictator slash tyrant to officiate between Maelstrom and Ugarest. For there is a new king in town. And from what you hear, there is a new Archon in town all the way across the sea. Not that any of you three care, Chad, Lichtung, and Sill.
What's
Wait,
an Archon?
thank you. I was waiting for you to finish the. Please define an Archon, please.
It is another name for Leader Supreme.
In what language?
Oh, it's like prime.
Greek.
It's like how other people say
Okay.
prime minister,
It's
non-Americans.
Archon is also like a religious faith.
It's tyrant and Canadian.
Exactly.
Oh.
You all head up north, and we're going to do our sunsets now. And we're going to start with the south team, and then work our way all the way up to Tolls, starting with Recorus! Recorus, tell me what the end of the war looks like for you.
The end of the war looks like to stay in contact with Bilbo, I would find some sending stones to stay in contact with the outside world. And then, as that was one of the requests to get back to Mystere, as I never would want to be without contact of the person who gave me life in Maelstrom, gave me, shelter, and nourished me to the great post that I am at now, only to retire, of course. I don't need any of that anymore. I've seen the horrors of Maelstrom and seen the horrors of the world through the rat people attacking, through a demon literally ripping off another great deity kind of something thing going on. Not sure. Jerome's head right off. Yeah, not great. And then the quiet life in Mystere is going to be his last vestiges of what's going on in his life.
Yeah.
It's come full circle from when he was a small child and he dreamed of going to Maelstrom, and it sounded so great. This is like the thing where you have those who don't know war want war and haven't experienced war, and those who have been in a fist fight. Yeah, you don't want to be in a fist fight. So now that he's been in it, he has decided that that's enough of that, and keep his head down, sync with the historian there, give his stories of Maelstrom to be recorded, and if anyone also comes to know how to defeat the prince to become the next king of Maelstrom, he will be on point for that.
Well,
It's gonna be a while.
Recorus, you have a grand task ahead of you. Finding peace in the aftermath of the so-called God War. You'll hear rumors, you'll hear faint news, whatever Bilbo can get through the sending stones to you in Mystere. But times are changing. The world has changed. The South It's essentially just Maelstrom now. Sanctuary barely stands on its last legs, on its last Great Wall defense, but they are cavern dwellers and cow shepherds. And it is going to be rough going. For Big Stinky, the technologically superior isolationist state will look at all of the vulnerable cities in this aftermath and begin to expand. For the spirit beasts within Klovisa have been waning ever since the tyrant came in power. And even in the south, so far away from Tulsa, they too will begin to migrate further and further north to the largest population center on your continent at the moment. And with it will go the Hunter General. Or, if there are no spirit beasts threatening Mystere, he is not needed. It is peaceful.
Yeah, Mystere will have its new champion in Recorus as he takes on the younglings to potentially defend themselves. He would not lead on that this training is necessary to defend themselves for their lives, but if we get raided due to some reason or another, everyone should be armed, unlike last time.
Well, the mist still stands, and so long as they do, Mystere will remain a mystery. Recorus's thread, his story, will reverberate out within Mystere. Maybe it's just a small ripple where he affects only a few people, but that, I think, is enough for a person, a fighter, who seeks peace. And we're going to move to Runt next. Runt! You! My baby boy! You went from gutter rat to baron. Now, that's not the greatest of nobility, but you're a landowner. A landowner of Maelstrom. What does the end of the war look like for Runt? Does he get bored of being a homesteader? He wanted to run an orphanage, but...
Here's what he's going to do. He is going to foster, some might call it a cult. He will call it his own task force, as he raises up his own gutter snipes and rats, and those who do not have homes in Maelstrom. He will find people, children, orphans with potential, and he will raise them. And those who he deems worthy, he will use having collected so much knowledge of the world. He will have his own inner circle with which he will enlighten them with the secrets that he has learned. The secrets of the Ulatheans, of Hephaestus, of the Tyrant of Tulsa. He will even use the treaty between Ugarest and between Maelstrom to procure more of the Tyrant fanfictions, which he will use as his basis of study on world knowledge, as well as his own notes that he has taken throughout his adventures. And he will use all of this as he will train spies, as he will train soldiers from children throughout the years, becoming teens, becoming adults, using them as his own task force to help aid the new king of Maelstrom. And of course, there can be no greater honor than when one of these task force members comes across a certain bugman who exits out of a cave at the end of the God War. That's right, I remember, you bastard. And one of these task force members will meet Kushim, and he, maybe years after Runt has gone, his legacy will spread out to his old friend.
I'm sure Kushim will accept the rock that is returned to him by your disciples. It is a bittersweet thing being a rogue, and also being a sorcerer of a storm that, as the war fades, begins to diminish. It begins to shrink. this 60-mile radius cloud that rains down and sinks the city of Maelstrom that surrounds the palace further and further into the earth, until close to the end of Runt's natural life, it is gone. There will always be a King Maelstrom in Maelstrom. There will always be a prince in Maelstrom to inherit his power. But whatever mysteries that the storm had are lost, or kept secret, even beyond the grave. Now I know nobody else cares, but maybe Runt, in his last, or one of his last intelligence reports, keeping track of his once ally, once king, but now just political checklist, I suppose. We'll find out that the tyrant managed to have spawn. Little demigods now walk the earth, which is thought biologically impossible, but maybe he truly was a god and was able to grant the miracle of life to some creatures.
Let's be real, they're probably just Ozark Simulacrum anyway.
It could be Ozark Simulacrums with weird hats on, though. For real, for real. Let's be real.
Oh, we got a flashback.
Do we call it Ozusi?
The last article written in Geology Jizz.
May I?
Do you want to do it, or do you want me to take it away?
I do want it.
What is the last...
You're giving him the jizz one out of all of them?
Geology Jizz, the deepest of
Yeah.
Thursday team memes.
Yeah.
But there's so much jizz.
That
Okay.
walked.
I imagine that the last article written in Geology Jizz, written by a man known, the true author of Geologist Jizz, Jibbers Jizzerman, would have been, of course, about the fall of the elementals and how the last of their energy spurted out like a hot liquid, cooling and making the earth that much colder as
It's
their essence leaves the world.
A creationist tale, eh? Back when the earth was old and I was young, says old man Jibbers Jizz. What's his name?
Jibbers Jizzman.
Jibbers Jizzman. Jesus. Fuck you, Temmer.
Thanks, I hate it.
We are going to jump to Rarick to see what the God War looks like, and ends with Rarick. But don't worry, Devin, we're going to come back to you after we circle back around. What does Rarick look like?
So, I think it depends. First of all, did his father actually die in that final encounter?
Give me a death saving throw. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Anti-Pog.
Also, when you said Rarick was under house arrest or being court-martialed?
You murdered your father.
I mean, yeah.
Only one guy in all of Maelstrom is legally allowed to murder their dad, and that is Prince Maelstrom.
Whoa, our whole society's, like, built on murder. Like,
No, it's built on oppression.
Butters, you don't murder your father.
so I think he will plead to the king to try to get some type of deal where he gets out of the situation. I don't know how well that works, but when eventually he's out of house arrest or out of the predicament, he will try to serve the king as well as he can, being the bootlicking man he is. Just be completely obsessed with the king, trying to win his favor in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, trying to serve him as best as he ever can.
I think Rarick will be much like a Jafar character from Aladdin, where it's like, please, O mighty and wise Sultan, Let me do all these things. And then as time goes on and he gets a little bit more dissatisfied, his sorceress plots become more than just ruminating thoughts. They get a little darker tone, as if a storm cloud is above your head.
I think every time there's a new prince, I instantly like latch on a new prince and be like, you could kill your father. Like, I've seen how he did it. I know the path. Like, just is every like chance I get, try to get the new prince to betray the king to get a new king, and
you
the
always
cycle
get the best, newest toys for Christmas.
You just goddamn Emperor Palpatine over here.
It's true.
If I can note one thing, Runt would absolutely use this situation to fucking annihilate Rarick anytime he saw him, being like, "Oh, you're a nobleman, huh?"
The political factions begin as two sorceress suzerains rise against each other. One who has obligations away as a spy master, the other one who is skulking around the shadows of a court. I like to imagine.
Well, I'm by the king's side. I don't know. I don't even see you around the court. Even a real noble, like
you were born a peasant.
Born a peasant, true base.
I think it is the ultimate dichotomy of populist liberal youngsters with radical progressive ideas, such as domesticating and then raising your own child militia army, versus the old blood, the more conservative and true to the old guard sorcerer, the blue-blooded Rarick. Butting heads, once allies, never friends. Now rivals, maybe even enemies. I like to imagine that your rivalry will always skew in Runt's favor, though.
Well, probably, yeah.
If only because he is a man of action, and you are a man of licking. We're gonna move.
Be like, all thanks to you, dang kids.
All right, save it for Igor. Chad.
Sorry.
Hey, Chad.
Hello. Hi.
What does the end of the God War look like for you? Maybe it ends. Maybe it doesn't end for Chad. Maybe he becomes loyal fully. Not a backstabber. He's got nothing better to do. Or maybe he takes the first opportunity to go AWOL and just lucks. Well, I mean, no one can physically catch him with his movement speed, right?
Correct. Before I've got two paths I want to think about. But either of them begin with a conversation with Lei Stung. Before Lei Stung inevitably goes his path.
Then let us set the scene as you two pass off whatever shit you need to pass off, and you hit the local Denny's.
Bro.
Bro.
What the fuck did we get into? And how did we make it out alive?
You know, I've been thinking about that a lot. And I think we just got ourselves into a world of trouble. Whether we chose it or not.
I want to say we found out, but we certainly fucked around.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you headed? Where are you headed after all this?
Well, I'm gonna do the only thing I can see myself pushing myself forward. I'm gonna go try and be a hunter again.
Yeah. You sure?
Oh, did that go under? I wasn't aware.
I don't know, man.
I've
got a couple loose ends I want to tie up, but if I don't end up dying doing that, you want to go, like, start a casino in Shore?
Hell yeah.
That's a good idea, but... Cat, come here. I'm a little drunk, right? I'm gonna tell you something crazy.
Same.
Alright, I put my arm around Chad.
You do so.
I'm gonna become king one day.
King of what?
When Tyrant sees that his goal is impossible, because I've seen that he also seems it's impossible, I'm gonna be there. And I'm gonna try to give what little time we have left the best ride we can. I see that the tides are changing, and I felt power is unbelievable. So I think it's okay if the people go out with a smile, if I can't save them. That's my plan.
Alright, man. If I don't end up dying, I'll name half a wing of the casino after you.
Awesome.
Chad takes out his Polaroid, demands Rarick show up and take a picture.
Rarick's a world away.
I'm in Maelstrom, what?
Schmitty, get the fuck over here.
That is not Rarick. For sure.
We're in Tulsa, right?
No, we're in Denny's. Give it to the.
Do we have a name for the waitress?
Yeah, give it to the waitress.
Schmittette.
Hey, Schmidt. What a
Schmittette.
lovely name.
It's
Schmittette, I need
Schmitty in
you
a
to
wig.
I need you to take 2 pictures of us, please.
Mm-hmm.
They do so.
All right.
Click. Click.
The photos are developing because it's a Polaroid, so I'm going to take about 15 seconds to let this moment sit.
Yeah.
Leishdown, we've been through a whole lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
We've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And I'm not about to go suck Tyrant's dick, so that's probably it. You know, you make it out, I'll let you stay at the casino for half off.
I'd appreciate that. Believe me, you're gonna see me there more often than you're expecting.
Say bye to Sentry for me.
Yeah. Love you, man.
Love you too, bud. Chad leaves behind one of the pictures, grabs the other.
I would like to hijack the scene and fast
Leader.
forward you decades, Chad. You sit outside Sure, because, I mean, this colony was abandoned, essentially, and you just kind of took it over. Using what wealth you could and getting more disenfranchised and disaffected members of Tulsa be like, hey, I know a place where we can legally gamble. You will begin drawing a small community, almost like an outlaw settlement or a free settlement, where there is no overarching ruler, there is no lawman or enforcer aside from what a individual can claim for themselves. And you, now older, still wearing your general's boots, look upon a scrap photograph of random pictures that you have taken over your long life. Some you had to recreate from before you got the photo camera. But, you know, you put on a wig and then you got other people, like lookalikes, to do it too with your money. You know, you
There's
remade
one
the Brotherhood
with a
of the
man
Fistball.
in a really rough-looking octopus suit of all of us beating the shit out of whatever was the bottom of the City of Pumpkins.
Hell yeah. It is both pathetic and endearing.
The craftsmanship on half of the octopus was good, but the other half, it just got phoned in.
Yeah.
It really did.
Towards the end of your life, Chad, now that the war is behind you, you're hearing rumors and, you know, you're closer to Tulsa than anyone else, but I think out of a grudge, you will obstinately refuse to figure out what's going on beyond your domain. A person will arrive somewhat youngish, middle-aged, compared to you at least. You're old, you're in a rocking chair, you had a lovely life. And he's rocking, like, 10 general's items. He's got a cool map, he's got a cool sword, a cool hat, a cool cloak.
Oh, I remember that hat. I passed on that hat in lieu of these fucking awesome boots.
He tips his hat to you.
What's your name, child?
I am the campaigner general.
Tell me. Have you defeated the fairy?
No.
Come back when you have, and these boots are yours. I'm too old to deal with that son of a bitch myself.
I was afraid you'd say that.
And then Chad runs away faster than anyone else on the planet.
He charges after you on a moped. Just ring. I don't think he will ever catch you, though.
Last time, John. He doesn't know where I am, so I move twice as fast as him.
Yes, but you're not in an urban sprawl. You are in the boonies. Go fuck
North
yourself.
Shore is an urban sprawl now. We are decades in the future, sir. That casino did mediocre.
You are a Wild West town at best. You have one road.
It depends. Did we get Rodrigo?
No.
No.
How would you ever get Rodrigo to move when he's being
Those were the
fawned
plans.
over in Alcazar? I'm not going to argue with you. Rodrigo's big time. Even at level 11, you guys are small time to him, okay?
Yeah, but we got a casino. There's no
He's a
casino
god.
in Alcazar.
He's a god among men. He's an Adonis.
He
He's
is.
I can
beautiful.
only stun him at max for 66 seconds straight. I can't get him all the way to where we need him.
God damn it. The original raid team plans, no.
Indeed. Chad goes on one last run, and it is an enjoyable one. Because at one point, he finds a magical skateboard and skates away into the sunset.
Also, the fairy can't hit me anymore.
It's true. He cannot.
And at that point, his grandson walked in. Grandpa Chad, wake up! Grandma! Grandpa won't wake up!
Lei Stung. We go to you. You said you wanted to stick around Tolst and wait for the tyrant to leave or give up?
I'm just gonna support him as best I can in his efforts. But I know he's gonna fail one day. And, I'll be there to send.
Let me narrate real quick.
Yeah.
Because things for you close to the Tyrant's Court are going to be quite active and quite busy now that the task forces have been abolished. No longer does the Tyrant implement extra-legal servants to go out into the world and do crimes, essentially. To invade other people's territories. Or if he does, he no longer relies on randos he found in his city. The Tyrant takes full control of Tolst. Democracy is given over to him, a demagogue. And he begins to have a family. It lasts 2 whole years. He has a few wives and male lovers, which are also a part of the harem. You've seen them around before. It is a strange situation for you. And worst thing about it is, your hounds are always torn between you and Citron, the Tyrant's main concubine. Now that's all good and great. But after those 2 years of him being a family man and reorganizing all of Tolst and its swelling population, he will come up to you, backed by some other Tolst forces that have stuck around. You recognize a paladin, you recognize a mithril golem man, You recognize the mithril as the mithril you once owned that has now been crafted into multi-limbs and a, like, artificial torso and, like, neck brace for this half-orc man who wields a flail. You recognize that this is Thatch and Teratai. You know that there's a vampire skulking around this court as well, which is well, two vampires, actually. And Tyrant comes up to you, Leishtung. He puts a hand on your mighty, swelled arm and bicep. We're getting ready to go. We're going to invade the heavens. Are you coming with us?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I am. And I'm gonna, like, whistle and say, Chell, Aster, and, like, those are the names I gave the dogs.
They bound up and forward, taking each of your flanks.
I'm ready to go when you are.
Tomorrow, we will open the portal.
Alright. I'll gather my things.
You will.
I pat him on the side of the arm.
He smiles at you. Leishtung, you, several dozen volunteers who are essentially going on a suicide mission, and around 70,000 spirit beasts will be invading what is known as the Palace of the Gods. Over these past 5 years, the Tyrant has been slowly accumulating these spirit beast cores. All for the day he can infuse them all at once with his own power, and then lead them through this gate to act as magically resistant cannon fodder. It is a very strange thing as you watch your early adulthood flash before your eyes as spirit beasts walk in loose organization through Tulst, remembering oh so long ago when spirit beasts rampaged through the city, almost killing you and your grandmother. And now he's leading them out of this world.
I think my heart sinks a little. But I know what the bigger picture is. I steel myself in the face of these things that honestly horrify me. And I try to keep it together for the dogs. They need to see a strong leader. They can't see me crack under these conditions. This is nothing. We're gonna go do something that's the most insane thing that anyone has ever done since the last time this happened.
It's the most insane thing any mortal has ever done. Leave the mortal plane. As you go, you will turn around. A portal will open behind you. You stare towards the Tyrant's court. A black citadel. And there you see Sentry. Standing Sentry. Over an empty keep. He does not move to join you. You lock eyes for maybe half a second. Maybe a full second. And you feel what do you feel?
I feel sad and happy that I got time to spend with Sentry. And after that second passes, I'm going to shout, I've survived crazier things. Knowing
Sentry
that's not true.
lowers his head. The little bowler hat that he's been wearing for the past 2 years. And his pipe of insight fall as he bows towards you and your decision. A decision he cannot and will not follow in the wake of. You lose Sentry as spirit beasts begin to clamber past you, moving gently but precariously around you as if you are a stone in a river. And you are called to join your tyrant in the vanguard. Beside him.
Yeah. As loyal as a dog, right? I walk up beside him.
Together, as long as you don't get cold feet, you will move through a golden glimmering portal that the tyrant is powering, that a horror from ages past known as Hephaestus is enchanting the gates of, and that a strange transcendent moonsnake is rapidly growing to stabilize the portal, who is sort of being like exorcised from the body of some guy you've never seen before. He's just wearing like a tiger print everything, like a zoot suit almost, as his body begins to convulse. And then he falls down onto his back and assumedly dies.
Why does this remind me of Castle Power? What the fuck?
I don't know.
I'm just having a random thought about Castle Power?
No, I think the last thought that you have before you go in the game... Is that Mori? As you head on in.
This Ouroboros-like portal.
Kinda. And finally, Syl. Syl, your story doesn't end immediately, does it?
No. No, sir.
What happens when you get off the ship and you see Chad and Wei Stung going their separate ways away from you?
I, roll for initiative.
Against yourself or the ghost that Jerome is now haunting you in your periphery with?
If we're in Tulse, Chad has city secrets and I move twice as fast as you. Get fucked, idiot.
You Zoidberg out of there.
Actually, guys, I forced up and I keep up.
You are a gamer.
Thank you.
Stop trying to hit me and hit Lei Stung instead.
I'll just take it.
Right. I think honestly what it comes down to is that he's happy that, you know, at least this go around more lived. You know.
Yeah. No, but
Disappointed
yeah.
that Merrick is still alive.
There'll be time to change that.
Yeah.
After all, you're trying to get all the time in the world, right?
It's true.
You need to find an Eternium crystal.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find a Lich who can either be overcome, or you must find a rumored aspect of this world that you can steal for yourself. Whatever the fuck that means.
Which is gonna have to force me to sell my assets, liquidize everything, and basically Syl's gonna move back to home.
You're gonna head back to the city of... Oh my
City
god.
of Blinding Lights.
Blinding Lights, yeah.
If you want to know anything that has to do with anything about the occult or anything of the plethora of the gods and demons,
It's true. You will head back to the ruined city of Blinding Lights, where much knowledge was left behind in the evacuation. There you will spend weeks and months beginning the long process of researching And then when you eventually get bored of that, you'll convert with demons and then enslave a wizard named Piddle's Wetspot to do the research for you. And by enslave, I mean bribe and then legally and lawfully employ with your fingers behind your back.
We all know gnomes aren't people. People are people.
Gnomes, confirmed, are not humanoids. They are
True.
monsters.
They're just pasty goblins. I said it.
Man, if only we were here next week for more of these hot takes.
Still, as we become xenophobic with the lore of D&D, I think we're going to stop your recap there. Because we don't know how your story will end just yet. And you still have much to do. Syl has not the blood nor desire to give up after tasting so much power. And you know with certainty that when you die, you're going straight to hell. And there will be a laughing fiberglass birdman who will be there waiting to snap your neck off and mutate you into a bird monster.
It's gonna be epic.
Indeed. We have one flashback that needs to be redeemed. When Chad beat up the
was
game.
typing.
Nerds from the Dream. I don't know, you can do that recap. What happened there?
Chad, this is before Denny's with Lei Stang and the meeting with Syl. In a drunken rage, storms to the Brotherhood of the Fist bar to realize once again it's still fucking closed. John, where can I find the Brotherhood of the Fist? I talked to all the urchins on the street.
You find Shredder. Or Shaver. That's what his name is.
Yeah. Shaver, where'd all those nerds go?
Shaver will tell you, and we will have a 3-part montage illustration manga style of you going into the barber shop, leaving the barber
The 3
shop.
panels. Let me take the 3 panels.
Okay.
It's Chad, General's boots through a door as the door is exploding into splinters. Him walking in, anime angry bubble around his head, and then his fist going through the skull of the first guy he remembered from the dream. Now, for those of you watching at home, Chad is a known alcoholic and drug addict, so he may or may not be punching the right guy. John, can you publicly roll a d20? Eyes are canonically good for me punching the correct guy versus not.
I cannot, because we are no longer in a flashback. We are going to take our first break here, guys, because John desperately needs to run to the restroom, and he's being held hostage, and he really, really needs to go on a bio break. So we'll be right back.
Go pee.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience as we go to the final scene of our campaign. And rather than focusing on the City of Blinding Lights or a duke out in a brawl somewhere, John needs to change the music to be a little less happy and hopeful. No, that's even more hopeful. I can't have that.
Oh no.
We could do clocks and horns and be agitated.
The
Maybe a
Wait,
little.
clocks? We're doing puzzles?
Clocks?
You know what? It makes sense. Igor, you are within the Alventori Fortress in Hazanem Valley. Just to the east of the Forge of Alvin, you wade through the ruins of your fortress, it having come under attack by a coalition of traitors, of vandals, of magical men of high strength and individual caliber. You, for the past 2, maybe 3 years now, you can't truly remember. It's a blur within your new Alventori armor. Your nerves are fried. It has been completely fused with the metal that surrounds your body. Bleeding, holding your innards inside with your gripping hand and your lay of hands, you head towards the vault where Grandpapa once lurked like a grim specter of doom and death. There you see that the vault has been cracked open. Not pried back, but literally cracked in a quarter. A large wedge has just been torn asunder and thrown to the floor of this great amphitheater that is this fortress home. This nuclear bunker that you have called a home for the past several years now. Stepping inside, you look for your enemies. Your traitor cousin, the monk, the Death Fist, who stole a shard of Ish Arith that you fished out of a fucking volcano. Pushing past the gold and the treasures that mean nothing to you now. You, one who is a challenger. You who challenged the first seal several times now. You look at the dead body of a man who you once respected, fought against, and lower to take his seal. You claim the first seal for yourself as you look around. What do you do, Igor, as you glance through the halls of Grandpapa?
First, real quick, can I just comment on how the name of the valley is Hazanem Valley?
It's Hazanem Valley.
I love that. Anyways, Igor. Alright, I get back in character. It's been a while since I played Igor. Alright. Igor, fuck this first seal guy. He's always truly been the first seal. No, he's truly been the leader of that.
He summons Bam Bam.
Let's be real. Bam Bam's out. Yes, of course.
Bam Bam is now a dire doom goat. He is a size nearly huge goat that stalks behind you with its 2 red eyes. You hear a psychic screech that has now become music to your ears.
Mentally, I command Bam Bam to just, take the first seal by the foot and, drag him away.
He does so unquestioningly.
Continue walking forward with my new maul in my hands.
Your maul, in the combat that came from the coalition of death worshippers that attacked your people, is shattered on one end. It is now essentially an axe, a great axe, if you will. Fuck you.
No.
You're wounded. What are you doing here? Why are you looking for Grandpapa?
Same reason I've always been looking for Grandpapa. Claim my right.
Now is the time.
When he's weak? Of course. One other time. Oh, what do I see? What do I see, John?
You begin to move through the wreckage of treasures that your clan has accumulated over 20,000 years of wet work, of going into places, destabilizing regions, committing atrocities, genocides, and assassinations onto others, claiming loot in every single situation, if only to have a trophy to show that their deeds were done. You find the chair of Grandpapa. It's not a throne, it's a goddamn chair. It is cleaved in twain from some unknown combat, likely from the same entity that carved the entrance into this sealed vault. And it begins to grow darker. Your four-eyed vision snaps and flickers, creating a false sense of light in this suddenly darkened chamber. What do you do?
I think I walk forward looking for signs of where this battle took them, where they are now.
You continue to follow the trail. Gold piles, magical items torn asunder, armor stands that are scattered. You press onwards. It gets more oppressive in this darkness as you continue going into this vault, until at last you come to a singular treasure room, a door that has been cleaved off of its hinges, scattered in shrapnel shards of wood, all on the floor. And here you see it. A mural painted within this treasure room of a pillar. Tall, standing, regal, a mountain visage. I believe Igor might have seen one of these before, somewhere else within the fortress. This is a depiction of the first War of the World pillar, where foul ones and verminous ones raged, cried, and in their angered, infantile spite tried to end everything because they had a bad shake at life. They were defeated by a coalition of Kaza, proto-humans, known as the Clovi at the time, and Ulethaeans, specifically Uletha, the king, the first king to ever exist within the world. There are great heroes cutting down hordes of vermin, and in this image you see, getting closer to the world pillar itself, a vaguely familiar sight. Is that Grandpapa in his armor, clambering down the mountain? Just a tiny silhouette? With Alventori, four-eyed, neck-horned, clad in shadow monsters, heading into the fray? You blink at this strange image. Far too modern to your taste. And then you hear it. The cricking and cracking of the wooden shrapnel beneath a metal boot. You turn, hefting your maul axe up to fight. There you see him. The one who stole your shard. The shard of Ish-Arith. He is wounded heavily. He's missing an arm, the same arm that reached into the lava and pulled you up. But in his other one, it is now malformed, blackened, necrotic almost, but huge. You stare at your cousin.
Does that gross guy lift?
He does lift, or he beats off quite a lot.
I will look at him and say, "So we meet again."
Cousin, I can't
I've
believe
told-
you're alive. You must have some kind of plot armor.
I've told you once. I'm not your cousin. And he goes into strike.
You strike him down with a mighty blow. No need to roll. He is wounded, defenseless, on the brink of death for who knows how long. Your axe hammer slams into his body. He stumbles backwards, beginning to fall, his eyes gleaming with a red light. For he, despite not wearing his helmet like you, the brand, I suppose, of the 4 red eyes and 2 tusks protecting your throat, he ripped that off a while ago. You remember it happening. And it feels so good as you strike him down. You now, the first seal, defending your home. And you begin to feel more powerful as his life begins to drain from his body. Cousin!
Don't call me that.
Good job. He raises his hand, and you see it. The fragment of a elven god of peace and death. As if he is offering for you to pry it out of his palm like a tumor.
Can I try tearing it out and putting it into my maul?
You can try tearing it out. Just go ahead and give me a 1d20 real quick. Just a flat 1d20.
Alright. Does Igor still have it?
It's a death save, baby. Let's see it.
Whew.
No
Alright.
balls. No balls.
No!
I fucking knew it!
No! Igor!
Igor, you touch the godly essence. You have felt this before, and the last time you did it, you caused a volcano to die. You caused yourself to die by hitting a volcano, I guess. As you pull it free, you stare at it and you begin to feel a necrotic energy coursing through your veins, and then you feel something penetrate your back armor, your plates. And
Penetrate
Nathaniel, what is it you say to Igor as you stab him in the back?
Son of a bitch.
You shouldn't touch that which you don't understand.
No, you
But
fucking
you
roll.
didn't understand very much, did you?
Roll me a 1d20. If God is real, it's gonna be a 20.
Nate. Fuck you, roll the 20. Do it.
Is
I will
Nathan
walk
lucky?
away from Oh, 75% lucky. That sounds about right.
Oof.
But
You!
I do have my luck points. I haven't been told the outcome of this roll. I'd like to spend one of them.
Go ahead and spend them all, baby.
Do it. Come on, we're getting...
Oh my god! The 20 has to happen, right? No.
We're out.
So close. Very close. I felt it there for a moment.
That's a
Wait, who was the
champion's
most
pick.
recent bard who could have given him bardic inspiration? Is
I
that a
don't
thing?
I literally yelled.
Alright, 2 7s in a row is essentially a natural 20, right? Igor, you are stabbed in the back. You feel it. You feel 2 magical daggers. You feel the energy of the tyrant here. The one who betrayed you. You turn around and look at Nathan. You're dying. Just with the crystal alone, you already may be dead. You have one action. One thing to do. What do you do?
Bum 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 bum
What
bum
does Igor
bum.
do?
Don't mom spaghetti. Come on, Igor. You are literally the backbone that has helped
Nick,
this entire campaign.
please.
I know what I'm doing. Igor's gonna say, well, if you understand it so much, why don't you take it? And I'm gonna literally force it onto him.
All right. Nathan, please give me a death saving throw. I bet you wish you didn't spend all those. Oh my god.
I'd like.
What do you do, Nathan, as he lunges forward with his hand, a fragment of true death barreling towards you?
I think he's too telegraphed. He's coming at it like he's like an angry customer at like Walmart taking a swing at a one of the workers there. It's too telegraphed though. He's too mad. He's blinded by anger. And I step to the side but hold him up to keep the shard from touching the ground as I like twist him to the ground like a cop maneuver, keeping it, away from me, right?
You do so. Igor, for you, the plot armor you relied so heavily upon fades. The shard of true death robbing you of it.
No.
But even after you recognize your own death and you realize you are dead, there is a strange out-of-body experience you face as you feel a sucking sensation. And for a brief moment, you see it. You see what the shard is connected to. You see everything. The world. The anthill. A strange, ethereal cone that is just spiraling with horrible, spiteful energy, and a golden lightning bolt bouncing all through it, eradicating what appears to be vaguely humanoid shapes. And then your existence focuses on a darkness that is so terribly, horrifyingly loving and welcoming. And as you are claimed by this entity, you hear a semi-feminine voice within your existence. Hello, Igor. My child. It is I. Say my name.
Wait, fuck. Goddamn, I don't have Igor's character sheet anymore.
It's Jerome.
No.
It's her. You know who it
Fuck,
is.
it starts with an
Just
X.
say her name.
Oh yeah, Xenos? Xenos?
As
Yeah,
you
Xenos.
say the name,
Xenos.
your mind goes blank.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
And your soul is obliterated
Hell
by
yes.
a vaguely familiar, haunting presence that has been stalking you your entire life, that moved things in such a manner where you would be frozen in time and then brought back out so that you may commit so many horrible atrocities in the world. You called her Xenoth, a strange foreign name. But she was none other than Oblivion herself, using you as a plaything. For no other way could you defy death so often unless she herself refused you. But now that you are connected to her, like all things one day will become, she will never let you go. And we are going to end the God War there. Thank you all so much for joining us in this lovely, lovely show and campaign we did.
Boys,
I hope
we
everyone had such a good time.
Can we all synchronize dab together?
All right. You guys ready?
Boys,
Yeah.
On one.
Wait. CK. Okay.
3,
Count us down.
2,
You're hot.
1.
You're hot.
Dab. Thank you all so much for playing this God War with me. We're going to go on a very quick break. And when we come back, we are going to do our after show. The end of the campaign talk. We got more dabs. Bring out all the dabs now. Because we're never coming back to this Twitch channel, baby.
There was a flashback redeemed by Temer forever ago, but we didn't interrupt the flow of the story.
Good. Fuck Temer. Oh, we got another dab!
Hey.
We got another dab!
Spend all my points.
Excuse me while I spend Gibby's points to do
Yeah, fuck you.
Dab!
These are my dabs.
Dab!
Why would
Dab!
you wouldn't cast the hand?
Oh, we're doing calisthenics today! Ooh!
I wanted the chance that I would get Uber points in case he didn't cast it or he forgot to cast it.
I knew he would. I took the easy
Courtney
bet. You
has
went the
to.
opposite side.
All
I
right.
did it.
We'll be right back. Thank you all so much.
You're
See you
hot.
here in a moment.
You're hot. Thank you.
Thank you, too, as we are back live from our little break.
You're hot.
Thank you. We are now in the open format of the show. Yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? We have so much to do. We have so much to go over. I don't really have an agenda here. I like this to be freeform. I've ended several campaigns now. And I find that having a broad topic list is always helpful, but we never get through it all. So, what do you guys want to talk about for the campaign?
John,
What happened to Bogeable?
Well, assumedly, if he was once living, he is now dead.
Is Schmitty like an actual like alien creature or like?
Which one?
All right, you need to explain that then.
So there are Schmitties and Smitties, right?
Fuck off.
So the difference
really
between
are.
Schmitty and Smitty is Schmitty is spelled SCHIMMTY, and they are all evil. And Smitties are always the last one standing. They are always the last NPC to die before the main character. And there's one Smitty that you guys know of a vampire. But Schmitties, there was like 3 of them, right?
We only knew one, I think.
What about the one that we need to make to eat another rat?
The one that got
He got his just desserts.
tortured in a dungeon for being
A rat
haunted
pie.
by Igor.
John,
Hi.
what was in the Vampire Towers?
What was in the vamp? I don't know. I didn't
In
roll some loot
Industry.
there. You guys didn't go.
Oh, like I just wanted to know like what kind of encounters would have been in there because we never got to unlock them.
Traps. Vampire. Spawn. Monsters. More vampirism.
John,
Hi.
who was your least favorite character
Syl.
Wow.
Got
And
him.
Gorgor.
and why?
And whatever the character before Gorgor was.
And why?
Because I hate you.
Fair.
But I'm
Thank you,
also
sir.
in love with you. So it's like a weird hate-love relationship.
I have the same feelings with my testicles. I get it.
How dare you ask me? Which one was my least favorite player character? Unbelievable.
Jonathan_Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
A long
Yeah.
time ago.
John, what happened to your player character though? Like, you barely ever use them.
What was that, Nick?
That was a fair question.
A long time ago, a character by the name of Lei Stung plugged up a hole in the city of pumpkins. One that was
Oh,
filled
yeah.
slowly with mithril.
I forgot
I need
about
to
that.
know how hilarious that ended.
It was it definitely crashed their economy.
It was definitely slowly.
For like a year, maybe. It was the slowest of drips, right? It was a water faucet, like, on just the edge to keep the water running so your pipes don't freeze, right? And you clog that drip, right? So, probably, it might not have even been noticed for, like, decades, even. Until one day, people started to realize, like, isn't there supposed to be, like, procedurally generated mithril coming out of these chests? Like, I feel like we're running low. And then,
A
like,
lot of
someone,
potions coming out.
some poor bastard had to, like, go all the way down there, get through all the stupid puzzles and traps that they weren't getting rewarded from anymore. And their shit was just
27.
being robbed.
27 to the power of 3 layers.
Yeah. So probably it did cause a lot of damage in the end. At least there. Until someone was like, get the plunger, Betty. We need to flush this thing once and for all.
John, I need to know. Would you cue up the DuckTales theme song right now? Because they're having to dive through a whole bunch of liquid metal to get to the bottom, no?
No,
The danger lurks behind them?
I
No?
will not do that. I'm so
All right.
sorry.
There's a stranger out to find them.
Any other random questions before I give you some of my own?
Yeah, John, there was the tower shooting a laser at a kraken. Like, what's the?
Oh
what's the
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's
That
just a
was
cause
a-
just around.
Alright, we're gonna need yeah, we have got a lot of questions. We're gonna need to speed through them, and I don't want to talk over people. So let's be respectful to the people who ask questions. That was the Hephaestus Tower, which was designed to keep a kraken at bay from the continent. Because, fun fact, Hephaestus, the enemy of the entire world, was the enemy of the entire world, and krakens are a part of the world. And he trapped one there in a whirlpool that would not stop spinning for thousands of years. And then when Igor blew up disrupted the volcano, the elemental who was helping that whirlpool failed to keep it up. So then the tower's just like, I gotta nuke this thing. Bwamp, bwamp, bwamp.
On top of that, Igor went for the weapon rather than keeping the body on the ship. So he soy dived for the weapon rather than because the boss of that encounter fell off the ship to feed the kraken. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
John.
What, Sil?
Grant has his hand raised.
During our time together, what would you say your fondest memory of me would be, or your one of my funniest moments, sir?
I think it was the consistency of every single time I do the countdown that mics were going hot. You would, without fail, every time say, "You're hot." And it tripped me up several times throughout this past year and a half. And I am a sucker for, like, repetitive jokes. Like, if you keep doing something that you know is dumb, it just gets funnier and funnier to me.
That's so true.
Mission.
That was a good gimmick that most of the stream never saw.
One's... Sometimes it snuck through. Because, like, at one point I thought I was faster, and then, like, sometimes I try to outsmart you, and I, like, trail off at, like, 3, and then you just, like, count it down in your head and be like, "You're hot." And just, I'm like, "Oh, I'm City States of Klovisa."
Got him.
I was surprised. I figured you would have said something when I did the finger thing.
I hated the finger
That was
thing.
good. I love that thing. That was hilarious.
It came out of left field, and I
didn't
love
hate it.
absurd humor, but "you're hot" just over and over and over again. I'm like, fuck. I expected it every time, and there was no counterplay.
There's no counterplay?
You can't counterspell "you're hot."
It's true, you can't.
No, you're hot. Oh, fuck. The mics are live. Shit.
True. CK, you had a question which I promptly ignored so that I could finish Eric's.
Oh, what? Did I?
You did.
Did I have a question? Are you sure about that?
Maybe you were just being a smartass, who knows?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I have a question, John.
Yeah, hi.
How long were you waiting to reveal that the Tyrant / Ozark were clones of Hephaestus? Not just from this campaign, just in general. I think John.
So, if you are a follower of the deepest lore, which none of you except for Gibby is, I believe.
Wow.
Gibby was in the Discovery team, for those of you who remember, where they had to grapple with the deepest of lore so that they could solve histories that happened ages past, right?
Nerds.
They were nerds, for sure. Yeah, fuck you too, Temer. I see you in chat. So when you're, like, writing and doing character stuff, and you're just doing the writing itself, you start to, like, recognize patterns, almost, that are happening in the narrative that you can easily cling on and click to. So I did not decide that the Tyrant was a clone of Hephaestus that got mutated and altered by Ishvatar, a different character entirely. Until we were, like, in 2021 or 2022, like somewhere around there. At first, he was just a crafted homunculus for real, but then it became more clear, like, in the grand narrative of the deepest lore, I guess, that it made more sense if he was actually a clone of Hephaestus, and I began to pepper that in. With the help of Meeker, also known as Orion, who was in your team. Because he was the one who connected the... Tyrant does have a resemblance to the echo of Hephaestus. Like, he was the one to connect that. And that was like the...
I remember that. That's why we had an intense debate off-stream about that when you were gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. If you guys don't know what the fuck we're talking about, go watch yesterday's... or Saturday Squad last week.
You can find
It'll all
all
be
the rest
uploaded
of
on
it
YouTube.
On YouTube. They're being uploaded after we finish this.
How many big story plot beats were, like, shifted because people just fuck around?
All
and
of
it's
them.
like, wait, that actually kind of like...
Every single one.
Alright.
There was if you as a DM, this is just my philosophy now coming out. It's the old saying of no plan goes correctly on first contact with the enemy, and you're my enemy, right? So at that point, I have to adapt the story so it makes sense through your characters as well as like you as the players to the best of my ability. Sometimes I miss.
The world?
Sometimes I shotgun out cool ideas and you grab onto things, and other times you're like, John, please be the voice of the people, which was a throwaway gag, impromptu thing that just became like a 4-session character.
I loved that character so goddamn much.
You know what Lady Gaga says? If you didn't write your song within like 15 minutes, it's not a good song.
I thought she said Roma, Roma, Ma.
Roma, Roma, Mama.
That beat hit, though. That song slaps.
I will say, though, when you did shotgun, I wasn't using protection, so you hit me every single time.
Thank you.
You critically hit me every single time with your buckshot.
All right, Brandon. That's enough. Any other broadband campaign questions? I want to get to mine soon. I want to ask, but...
Ask your questions, Mr. Master.
Yeah, hit us.
I have a question for the room. Did everyone feel good about their character endings? Because I got to retire a character earlier and see them come back, so that was pretty great.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was just so epic.
I mean, it made sense for Nathan, right? The only thing that stopped Nathan from killing Igor in the first place was the plot armor, specifically by Lei Stung matching the natural 20. And if that's not like the dice telling you what's up, then like you gotta listen to the dice at that point. Like, Igor is magically protected by, like, luck itself.
Well, Devin is, if anything.
Well, I think it was Igor, to be honest. I don't even know.
The character took over. That was me.
Yeah, honestly, Igor...
It is pure superstition, but some characters just roll differently than others. Like, you as a player.
Sure.
Like, I played as the Greg character in Saturday, and... my friend who made the Greg character kept critting or crit failing. And he's just this swingy motherfucker. And then, literally, every time I play as Greg, I just rolling crits. It is surprisingly accurate. Like, 3/4 of the time, it's a crit.
You know, I think that just means the universe is consistent.
John, I have a really specific question that you may or may not have the answer to.
Okay.
One singular die roll that surprised you the most, doesn't have to be this squad, out of the entire campaign. What die roll that changed the course of what you were planning surprised you the most? I have a few suggestions from just our squad. Really, 2.
Well, let's go with that. What was the most surprising luck of the draw for you?
I think Ybor Lador. Now, it's not even fucking me. Fuck Chad. Chad was a fucking nobody. Ybor Lador rolling the 20 and acquiring Joy.
The saving throw, yeah.
Yo, that is one of the best rolls in the campaign. Joy is OP as shit.
Airship 2, where Igor rolled the 20 to save all our lives. That's my 2 rolls where I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
The airship roll is going to be mine 100%. That shit was so good.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
To take control over the ship by just talking to him.
So,
yeah, even the first airship.
The first airship... Okay, no, my favorite part of the campaign, still to this day, is when Devin... when you guys got Xenoth's betrayal and, like, met Bojable, was literally, like, the ship guy coming onto the comms, like, what do you mean you need fuel? What's going on? It's like, it's run on gold! It's still the funniest fucking thing I think about to this day. That's an old meme, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know... nothing comes to mind about the dice themselves, because I think the dice rolls are like a microcosm of the like stories we're telling. It was just part of the thing. And if you can't roll with the dice and if you don't want to have the chance of failure, then you shouldn't roll the dice, right? And if you don't think your players can succeed, you shouldn't let them roll the dice. But, you know, I like it when you guys roll, because that's interesting to me. Leave it to chance.
Get a lot of improv from it.
It's true. What about you, Gibby? What was your favorite ending point? Well, did you feel satisfied with your character ending? Runt was there since the beginning.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I was either the second or third person to do the one-on-ones, like right after Temer. So, it was honestly heartbreaking to see, understandable but heartbreaking to see Anshua go down like that. I think it is surprising that, considering everything that Brunt's gone through and everything that I've gone through, and the number of party members that I have seen outright die to things, and people who have met sad or like mediocre ends, that somehow this little guy who's lived because he had a +3 in the Constitution, being the only reason he made it past level 1, only to make it 10, 11 months later and accomplish literally everything he ever wanted, everything I wanted to do with the character. He was able to do lots of things mechanically, being a rogue, doing lots of damage. I was the party leader basically the entire time I was on the Thursday squad. So I got to do a lot of the things that I wanted to do just because I was the person who made the action keep going most of the time. Ugarest was fantastic, basically being taken out of our element and being like, you're not allowed to just murder people. And having most of
Man, what's that like?
having the first half of our entire campaign being like, there's nothing to fight, there's nothing to kill, you have to actually think like a human being, which was really interesting for me, being that John
That's
was
not one.
John,
I am a robot, Gibby. Humans are fun.
You guys don't know, and John sometimes forgets, but this was the first real D&D campaign that I ever played in. So,
Hey, well done, man.
so having
Be prepared to be disappointed in all the other ones you ever are part of.
I know.
Man, Gibby, we broke our campaign virginity together. You want to hold hands up?
I've played in D&D campaigns before, but this was like the first like genuine, here is a tabletop true role-playing experience. And so to have like all these preconceptions and all these other experiences with other games, looking at you, Ruby fanfiction, where things were just fucked, and then actually having like a, yes, you are a real person in this fantasy world where the things that you do matter, but also you can die to a random fucking rat man in the middle of a cave. And I will not lie, I've said this multiple times throughout the campaign, I felt personally responsible for every single time one of my party members died, because I did feel like I was filling that leadership role. So
Same.
every single time somebody died, it felt like I made bad choices, or I could have helped talk someone like through their decision-making process, and choices were made that led to that, cause and effect.
Yeah.
So to have this character finally make like a somewhat peaceful resolution of an ending, mind-blowing.
Gibby,
Glad you got it.
that was a beautiful summary. I have a question specifically for you. 3 words. Beef Swellington. Why?
Yeah, you got some explaining to do.
You do got some explaining to do.
Okay. So to put it very simply, I wanted to mechanically play a barbarian, and I had no character ideas. I had no way to.
Really?
No character ideas to like how, because I was so hard banking on Runt that like I didn't even consider other characters that could potentially fit in this world, because I was just so well immersed into him and his storyline. So I wanted to do something different mechanically, which is why he became a sorcerer in the second half. But also, like I told John, yeah, I'm kind of bored doing just a rogue thing all the time.
It's boring, yeah. It gets tiresome.
If you watch any of the Thursday
I would like
team
to use
fights,
Stunning Strike.
Yeah,
I mean,
fuck you too.
you understand what it's like. But for me, rather than like 3 or 4 attacks where you can kind of get Stunning Strike, it's John will tell you, my turns were literally like 36 seconds to a minute long maximum. And it was
I take the attack action.
John, I
Steady
steady
aim.
aim, I attack with advantage, I do sneak attack damage. And that's it. Literally every single time. So I was very effective, and so after like 6 months of that, I was like, yeah, I want to try something different. And then I just couldn't think of anything, so I resorted to the only thing I knew how to do, which was fucking meme.
Fucking
Meme
meme on
really
me.
fucking hard. You meme too close to the sun.
I did
appreciate-
meme too hard.
I appreciate
He learned.
that Beef died quickly.
He learned his lesson. I'm glad he did. I think Orion did too, because he, in your footsteps, also... but he, like, kept with Mirth, because he wanted to Stunning Strike too.
Mirth and Beef were meme characters together. We made those characters together. And then as Beef's Wellington was like, yeah, this is way too far, he was like, okay, I want to like actually do something with this character. And Mirth ended up turning into Triple H, the Godsend, the monk who is also a doctor, who is also a pro wrestler, who also and tried to invade the lesbian stronghold.
He's the Brazzers porn guy, essentially.
Yeah.
Devin, we're moving on to you, because I'm just going to keep going counterclockwise in the way the stream sees. Devin, did you have, well, one, a generally fun time playing Igor most of the time, and did you find the conclusion satisfactory?
Yes, I felt like it was amazing. I loved Igor every step of the way. His just dumb stupidity, ADH riddled mind, very truly just rivaled my own. I was just
basket case.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean the conclusion 100% fit. Finally losing his plot armor, meeting Xenoth once and for all, who turned out to be real, just like I always knew. But I have a question for you, John.
Okay.
So it's like 2 questions, really. First,
all right, we're doing quid pro quo. I gave you 2 questions, and now you're giving me 2. Let's do it.
So,
hang on, he's quid pro crow, caw, motherfucker.
So way back in the solo sessions.
Oh, okay.
When you first gave Igor the prompt of like, oh, he woke up after 1,000 years, and then he just completely ignored it, / I completely ignored it. What were your thoughts on that? Like initially.
Am I gonna wash this guy out of the interviews? And unfortunately, you made me laugh too much. So, to give you a little bit of perspective on the interview process, like, if you could make me laugh during it, you were already, like, top tier. You were, like, I'm rushing you in. Like, you are now one of my favorites. And Devin, I enjoyed playing with you just so much during the character creation. And you, at the time, had an air of maturity to you, which you quickly dismissed once you rolled like a 6 on your intelligence. It was just a lot of fun. So I was like, I'll give him a chance. We'll move him into like the group thing. Do you even remember who you were partnered with?
Oh man,
Was it Jim the Immortal Dragon?
Was it Jim?
No, it wasn't. That was part of the raid team.
Yeah, that was Rourke.
That's super old. Lore.
I was with whoever converted to Xenoth. That's who I was with because I converted them to Xenoth.
I had a Xenoth.
It had to be like Kushim then, right?
Y'all are definitely talking about them.
It was
the Kushim were the
Kushim,
2 Xenoth worshippers. It was John.
John.
Yeah, it was Kushim for sure, and then it was a warlock. I forgot the warlock.
Yeah.
Well, Kushim was the warlock. Yeah.
Oh, Kushim was the warlock.
Those were all in the BC times before Chad.
Before Chad times.
Okay. What was your second question, if you remember it?
Oh, yeah. What were your actual thoughts about Xenoth? How did you really feel?
I thought you were ripping off Critical Role.
What?
Yeah. Critical
I've
Role
never
had
seen
a
a Critical
character
Role.
named Xenos that I quickly Googled to see what the fuck you were talking about. Because, like, there's no way you came up with this name on your own. I'm like,
you did.
100%
oh,
I did.
I typed in...
100% did.
You did?
Yeah, I've never seen Critical Role in my life.
Oh, okay. I thought you were admitting that you saw Critical Role and you stole the name.
No, I've never seen it.
It was a very happy coincidence then, but I was like, this man's trying to, like, change my protective lore that I shepherd over like a poor farmer in the Caucasus mountain range. Like, how dare you try to bring Matt Mercer shit into my game after I'm telling you, specifically during the interview process, we're not doing the Matt Mercer shit. So I was, like, really pissed off, because I thought, I was convinced. And then at one point I'm just like, I have to kill this. I have to kill Xenoth. Like, I need to get distance from this name, and it took 16 sessions to break you. Fuck, man. So good job holding out. For everyone else, it took like 3 at most.
Yeah.
They memed on it, and then they're like, oh, he's not here. But you just kept going back.
Yeah, one person tried to use the power of Xenoth to smite, and then they rolled a natural 1, and they're like, fuck it, God doesn't exist. Remember we were fighting the Ozark Simulacrum room, and we were fighting against the polar bear?
Oh,
and
the the training room?
Yeah, I think it was Dearmond, actually. Eric's first character.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. True.
Or Babe. No, it was Beba, because Dearmond was a rogue. Because I remember...
Fucking John.
I wanted Dearmond to be, like, my rival character, like, from, like, a player perspective, because we were both rogues, and I knew you and Eric knew each other, but I didn't know Eric at the time. So I wanted to use, like, our characters to, like, get to know him as a person, and then Dearmond fucking died to 22. Erupting Earth, so...
True.
Rip.
Alright.
Didn't believe in Xenoth enough.
Moving on to Rumble Roar. Rumble Roar, did you have a satisfying time playing as Chad and Grandma? Aurora?
Aurora was a wild trip, because she was the antithesis of Chad.
She was, for sure.
To the same Beef Swellington attitude, it was good to get a mix-up, because fucking Stunning Strike, bro. You can only, like... zhuzh up. I punched this person in the dick really hard.
Yeah.
So many times. It was a really good time. I enjoyed the arcs. God, how many arcs did we leave behind? Talk to me. Hang on. Oh God, his name. Big Daddy. Blue steely eyes.
Leon?
What?
Leon.
What did we miss in that entire fucking storyline? Because we just kind of, like, let that shit die.
You would have been able to invade the Golden Tower with Leon backing you all. And then you would have more Primal God lore as a reward, as well as abilities. You'd essentially become lucky.
I have a follow-up super duper short question. I think the natives by the Earth Elemental, was that a deep super lore, or was that just a small...
People live there. They're just living tribal lives, doing their thing. There are tribes out in the world that exist. Like, the city-states aren't everyone. It's just everyone that everybody knows, right?
Or civilized everyone.
Yeah. So, like, on the map...
Civilized.
So, following the logic of airships, right? Airships have to refuel places. And, like, Cancelar was the main driving force of the economy. So, like, this entire shelf was intentionally neglected because Cancelar wanted all traffic...
you're looking at a map. Oh god, hang on.
Yeah, I'm looking at a map.
Sorry.
Because Cancelar wants all traffic going through them. So just by that alone, this entire section is kind of ignored. And that's why Shore was able to be built, because it was in the middle of nowhere, right?
We picked the best OG fucking spot. Am I right, Ray team?
Hey.
Yeah.
Team.
The real question is, what the fuck's on this side of the continent, since this was never touched? This
Great
entire
question, because
shelf.
that was really, really annoying to get to.
Yep, it sure as shit was. I like my worlds to be difficult to maneuver.
Like he likes his women.
Yep. Cold and mean to me.
Purchased via fair
And
trade.
able to hang on your wall.
Honestly, that's kind of a base take.
True. I used to have this line of I like my women like I like my coffee, cold and bitter.
No. That's the wrong way to that. No.
No,
I'm
it was
sorry.
it was a good meme.
Free trade and organic?
Yeah.
No.
Abusing child
Roundup
labor.
In
That's
burlap
what-
sacks, purchased via fair trade.
There we
Yes.
go.
There we go.
Okay.
That's why I don't drink coffee, John.
Hashtag
True.
sarcasm. That's not a real answer, internet.
Yeah, it's fine. No one cares.
It's fine.
Tammer doesn't.
Timmer,
Yeah.
don't hate me.
CK, you had a rough go of it until you made a barbarian. I think you went through 2, maybe 3 characters before you
It
found
was-
Leishtong.
Session 0, I had a guy. I was like, oh, this guy's pretty cool, right?
Your
like-
sorcerer. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you can go places with this. Like,
Then he exploded.
then he
by
exploded. And
a
then I'm like,
single
all right, you know,
crow.
that kind of gives like a cool origin for this other guy that's in his life. And then he got
Momo,
kicked in
yeah.
the balls to death.
Momo got his chest caved in by a fucking steel golem. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's where
threw him in the lava.
King funeral.
and lo and behold, I hit a creative wall and made a barbarian.
Did you find that despite having, you know, the simplest of martials, that you still got like the roleplay high out of it?
Oh, dude, the roleplay high was so high. Like, I knew it was a good character once the shit harnessing hit, and I'm like, oh no, this is great. This is like perfect for me.
The shit harness for Schmitty.
Yeah, if I'm not gonna go like have a character who's like hard into like learning about magic and trying to do all this other shit, and it's like the shit harnessing really
Let's do an
solidified. Like,
activity.
oh, I know I'm going with this one.
I think that may have been
That's
the
where I got
best
the like
one-liner.
wrestler angle from mostly.
I think Shit Harness was the best one-liner in the entire campaign. I've seen most of the episodes across all 3 campaigns. John,
Yeah.
say what you will. I think, guys, the Shit Harness is ready. It's like the best few syllables that any human could have said at that exact moment. CK, props to you, boss.
I try so hard.
It was
It
great.
was really funny. It was really fucking funny, dude.
Did you like
Alright.
your conclusion for Leishtong?
Yes, I do like the conclusion because, like, you know, if he dies, he dies. He lives, he lives. But like, the like weight and like the meaning it left with him, like, was more important to me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's all about the internal victories, and it's like that's kind of like what my character was built around. It was like internal struggles and victories,
Mm-hmm.
and just balancing that out while navigating a really fucked world that I'm forced to fight in, basically. Because if there's anything important, is that the world's here to fight you, and you can only do what? Get beat up or fight back.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you can ask me questions now as well. You can bank them if you want. I'm not going to force you, but...
No, there was a question I had about motherfucking Schmitty, but there was another one.
Well, CK
Fuck.
remembers.
What was the
John.
was the
No,
enemy
don't-
Hephaestus's body? That's a big question I had. It's like, okay, we were learning about the enemy and this wizard guy. Was that him inside that dungeon with Grimir? Is that like his like
Oh, the fucking
like a
one
kind
The
that you
giant
guys-
monster?
the one
Yeah,
that you
it's-
guys cleared out. Yeah.
yeah?
That's
Is he
him,
like?
that's it.
No,
Was
that
that
was
like-
Joy.
Wait, that was Joy's body?
Yeah, that was Joy's body.
Oh, okay.
That
I
was
left
her
thinking, like,
workshop working body where she made a bunch of undead monsters. But then, when she realized that was a pointless thing to be focused on, she moved into her gem and was going to take over Igor Lador.
Ebor.
Ibor, fuck.
yeah. got him.
Fucking got him, boys. Let's go.
Got me from beyond the grave.
Let's go.
Let's
Thank you,
Great
KJC.
team. Shout outs to our crumpet.
Rip Crumpet.
Wait, hang on. I have a pop figurine nearby. Hang on.
Aww.
Oh.
Now we're taking out
It's
figurines.
somewhere.
I got Goku right
Okay.
here. I got
Aw.
a partially built Gundam right here.
Right there. Hang on.
Ace.
Hang on. Look right there. Right there. Oh god. Right
Oh
there.
my god, it's
There
a
it
pop
is.
figure.
Doc Brown.
That's one thing I
Rick?
do. This is
Yeah.
getting the pop of the day, pop of the week.
I missed that.
It was pretty good. It was a strong meme.
It's a good show and tell. It was way better
Yeah.
than the Gotham Horn.
It's one of the best
For
opening
sure.
bits.
Yeah.
Today
Oh my
we
god, I fucked my
have
camera.
yeah, that was Joy.
John, I have a question for you.
Can we do Brandon first?
Sure.
Yeah.
Brandon,
Let someone do me. Yes, Sean?
what was your favorite moment of this campaign?
I don't know. It's kind of hard.
It's a hard one for sure.
Yeah, just because.
I can take this one.
Yeah, I genuinely.
Everyone think on this, because that's a really great question for all of us. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody. Minus Gibby. And I don't think you were with us, Coffee. Y'all remember when we beat a quest by shopping?
Oh,
Yeah.
A fucking circlet, you just locked
Yeah,
into
Oh
it.
my
That
god.
was just like a
Oh, yeah,
good quest.
Igor's smart.
Roll natural 20.
I had
And then I
Igor
gave it
on a
away.
leash.
You fucking gave it away last Christmas, motherfucker. You got whammed.
Oh my
I mean, I reminded
Secret
Igor
Smith.
Igor could teleport home. Hey, bud, you got that thing in your pocket.
The Secret
Yeah.
Smith was pretty fucking strong. It's a
The
strong
Secret
pick,
Smith
though.
is second to us, I think, in my tier list of random dumb bullshit that happened to us. Us beating the entire quest line by shopping really fucking hard one episode. And then the Secret Smith.
Secret
then-
Smith was so fucking good.
I'm gonna back off because that opens up a whole nother storyline of questions. I'm
Why,
sure.
thank you for restraining yourself.
I'm trying, John. I love you. I'm
What
gonna
about
mute
you,
myself
Brandon?
so I don't say anything else, right?
You know, I will say this, and I think the funniest part is, and my favorite part is when you've tried to kill Syl, because you get so pissed. And
We're unkillable. You just maxed out on healing because you were. It was a strong build that Syl had. I was so happy. I didn't want to show it, but like, yeah, I'll give you a fireball if I can take away all of your party's healing. That sounds great to me. I'll give you a max damage fireball. Here you go. Let me just go ahead and take that pool of healing dice away.
you know what? I will say this. The one thing I did love about that part was I did love being able to heal. I did like being able to keep everyone up. However, I think it really did piss me off and show me kind of like the brokenness of the mechanics of healing in regards to like constantly having to bring someone back up because they get hit again.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, so I'm trying to keep them from not having to fucking do their fucking death saving roll, but at the same time, I'm not helping.
Yeah.
It's like
I
feeding
think-
someone who's like, going through anaphylactic shock more peanuts.
That's fair. I think without Syl, like dropping Gorgor the Sorcerer and picking up Syl, your party would have been fucked several times over. I think you had a very unique experience in this campaign, because you essentially didn't level up until last session. For the entirety of the campaign when you were Syl, and you're like, John, please give me experience. I'm like, no, you're level 11, everyone else is level 5. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did get to see Syl through retrospect of the thought process of, as I was going through everything the last, 3 years? 2 or 3 years that I've been playing with you, where I try keeping Syl as more of that happy, bubbly thing to fuck everything. Here we go.
You became an evil boy.
And all of a sudden I started seeing odd reflections of me and my career in the army, so I thought that was kind of an interesting plot twist. But no, I really did have a lot of fun. And it is still truly hard to figure out spots that I would imagine would be where I can pinpoint it.
You're good.
Because technically this is still my first session. My first
campaign,
because one just transitioned into the other.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know the history of Brandon, when I initially started a campaign to just learn Roll20, I just put out a random recruitment posts, and then Eric, who played Piddle's Wet Spot, a different Eric, excuse me, I'm forgetting his Discord name at the moment.
Poseidon something.
Yeah, something like that. He was like, "Hey, can I invite my boyfriend?" at the time. And I was like, "Oh, I normally don't do couples, because if we do couples, one of you is going to break up with each other, and then I'm going to lose 2 of my players, right?" And you both assured me that, that would not happen. And sure enough, that did not happen for a while.
I get my word, you didn't lose me.
I did not lose either of you.
Yeah.
Which was the only time that has ever happened, because I've had 6 couples in total that I played with. And, 5 out of 6 failed. So good job.
5, Brand.
Good job, Brandon. Did you have any questions about the setting or the world that you experienced, Brandon?
So, we've said this before, in the fact that, I fucked up in the sense of still trying to just conceptually grasp what I could do or couldn't do with the character and stuff like that, and really just having to play the always playing the black backup singer. But at any point, did you ever see or did you ever see a arc that way?
Like a character arc for Syl, the character?
Yeah.
I think I indirectly punished you a little bit, because you had the level advantage, and I'm like, he has a campaign's worth of history, and yeah, he's playing second fiddle to all these level 5s he's now stuck with, right? Just because of that level power differential. But as that, difference decreased, right, I was able to focus hard into Syl. And that's how we got the whole Jerome arc, right? Where now you're like, God, Syl's so weird, because he's a philanthropist. He gives away Eternium crystals like they're nothing. He's asked for a favor, and he gets money in return. And, that's just a trade he makes immediately. So there's, real charity with Syl the character. But also, on the other hand, he is pure chaos of, I am going to figure out a way to gain power and immortality. And I don't care how many patrons I have to jump through to get it. And that is just a corrupting influence within the world, which I am interested in seeing.
Yeah. Well, because ironically, that's how I've actually lived my life. I've given the shirt off my back, literally, and stuff.
It's not
like that.
roleplay.
I like helping
It
people.
is roleplay.
However, just like you said, I can be so petty, and I can just
I know.
make people burn in such a beautiful way. And I like to think in some weird chaotic cult, I am like someone's version of like the end times like Hand. And that is what keeps me going. But in order to keep myself living, I have to constantly try to be a good person.
True.
Yeah.
We all wear many masks. Now, Runt had or Gibby had a question earlier. I don't know if he remembers it. It's been a little while.
I do. It's a 3-part question.
Oh, god damn it.
So you can be as brief or as verbose as you want, but
Okay.
what were the 3 most favorite arcs of just like the narrative for the campaign as a whole? What were your 3 favorite arcs that you enjoyed running as a DM and seeing unfold?
City of Pumpkins.
The City of Pumpkins was good until it wasn't.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
Just pull that lever, baby.
There were so many things I wanted to do, right? And then, like, when the application happens, you realize you have to sacrifice, like, 90% of your plans and just stick with whatever you can hold on to, right? And I think that's just a general thing that happens no matter what you do in life, almost, I have this really cool idea, I'm now going to introduce the beginning of that idea. Oh, fuck. Like, the immediate regret, almost, of I could have done this better, but I have to move forward, because, I can't travel back in time yet. City of Pumpkins was great. I loved Bojable. Bringing in Bojable, like, giving him a sudden character shift, and, like, actually getting the party... I think that was the first successful time I managed to get you, the Murder Hobo Death Squad, invested in another, like, character.
We loved Bojable. Oh,
We
man.
all less than 3 Bojable.
Bojable was great.
Ironically, like, it's so good. I like Celeste. I think she's probably, like, still one of my top 5. But, like,
That's
probably next day.
Tommy,
That's
Mommy,
actually really
Celeste.
strange. I have had the feeling that everyone hated Celeste. So
Well,
that
she's
she
like
was
one
just
of my
kind of
favorite.
there.
Igor loves Celeste. I love Celeste.
Yeah. Hey, John.
Me as a
What?
player loves Celeste. I think she's badass. She flew into a coal with a shotgun and a ship, and our ship.
Oh yeah, no, you guys
That's
had
for
her. She was with your team the most. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, because Igor tried to give her a hug and she pointed a shotgun in his face. I still
Remember
remember
that? Remember that time that Mori cast Chain Lightning and saved us from all those burbs?
Yeah,
that.
that was funny.
Yeah.
God,
That was
Maury
pretty
did
dope.
so much more for you guys than the team he was supposed to protect.
Who's Mori?
Ah,
I was like, who is that
Who's
even?
Maury? Shit.
That's the best meme. That's the best like ongoing meme in the whole campaign is who's Maury.
True.
I think-
Day
Huge,
one,
yeah.
that
Who's
shit was
Mori is
funny.
a good meme.
Who's more is pretty good. I still think my team's best bit was Lamau Boots.
Lamau Boots is
Lamau?
Lamau Boots and Geolysis Jizz were both really good.
God,
Y'all
John
should
was
visit
just such a
Hilarious.
creative person.
Yeah.
I really liked. I'm focusing on the Ray team. I know that
Okay.
you want me to be more broad, but
No,
sorry,
talk about
you're-
Igor some more, please.
God, the Cancelar, like, ruins was just fun. Every time we went to Cancelar, it was like, I am showing these people a wretched version of this world that can't exist if they fail. And, like, with hovering that specter over your heads, I killed Momo, and I almost wiped the party with an airship. And, like, demons and shit. And, like, that, I think that was when, like, Rumble Roar of the players started to run it down mid, like, constantly, too. because he like teleported onto the bridge and was just immediately eviscerated, and he just kept doing it. It was just a character thing that we all just like unanimously picked up, and it was funny as fuck.
Well, two things from the first time we went to Cantalar was, one, we all dressed, I don't know if you guys remember this, but we dressed up as Xenoth, like, people to try to get past by saying we were, like, fucking Jehovah
Cultists?
Witnesses. Yeah, we're like Jehovah
Yeah.
Witnesses, but for Xenoth.
It worked.
Oh,
It worked, too. And then also the fire elemental. That's when the random fire elemental came out. Igor just decided to, like, stick his hand in it or something. Oh, no, he pretended to speak fire elemental.
And like,
when
you rolled well enough for it to like kind of for it to just
Yeah.
mark you.
Yeah,
Somehow.
it hurt me.
That was the moment I believed in the plot armor.
Yeah.
It
my
never stopped. It never stopped to this moment currently.
these are not
Igor is
ranked,
still
by
alive.
the way, but the Alcazan cleanup crew is where I think I like hit really good, because initially what this game was supposed to be is the teams were doing different stuff, right? So like the political team found a target to send the raid team to, and the raid team went and they did it. Like they cleared it out, they kicked ass, they beat a giant monster, and then it never came up again.
Yeah, we did it the one time. We found and fought Grog the one time, and then the raid team went in and cleaned up.
Mhm.
And then nothing. There was
Teamwork.
never any synergy ever again.
Never.
Until like 2 months later, where we had that like inter-party cross thing.
Yeah.
And I stole the wisdom from Antoine.
Yeah.
The three original boys.
Let's refer back to
fucking
that.
Igor, Run, and Tem, and yeah, not Temur.
Jimmy, Are you talking about the crossplay when you guys really needed some of my gear?
Yeah, you made a massive
think so,
donation to the Thursday team.
Yeah.
Without you, and without you giving that to the Thursday team, Nathaniel would not have been able to hack Randy. Because the Disco team were the ones who went and powered Randy up,
Yeah.
I think.
That
You
seems
guys
so
flew him
funny.
back to, like, Alcazan, right?
We flew to Mokapuni, and then we powered him up in Mokapuni and flew him back to Tolst.
Okay.
And then Nathaniel did several days worth of coke to figure
Space
out the
cocaine.
password.
Who doesn't?
Well, not Nathaniel wasn't there. Nathaniel was never with us.
No.
later.
Future.
In the
Future,
future,
yeah.
Nathaniel got super high on good berry and crack cocaine.
That's
And then he just, like, spent 7 weeks hacking, essentially.
With two Ozarks.
Yeah.
Those were good days, John.
Good, great days for Nathan,
team.
right?
Guys, remember when we just shopped all the time?
God, I hated that. That was my least favorite part.
I'm not gonna lie, it was that in combat because all of my fucking RP rolls were always fucking garbage.
True.
Correct.
They still are.
Dude, you guys remember when we first got our airship and we had to fight with John about physics?
Oh, the
Yeah.
air, the
Oh,
fucking
the
air
jumping.
wizard.
Yeah.
Well, John, if he cast fucking fly, he should shoot 500 feet off the map.
True.
No, it's magical
How
flight.
are we
Fuck you.
flying
That's
and we're
it.
just going straight up.
And then at that point, I'm like, oh yeah, he's just gonna escape now because he jumps up 5 feet in the air, and by what Nick says, he just flies. No one's allowed to jump on an
True.
airship.
Did by fate.
Absolutely based.
It was so stupid.
my most fun thing that I argued with John about constantly. So the biggest reason that I think John hated Run was my fucking natural 1 rerolls. And the amount of times that I rerolled a natural 1 into a natural 20.
It happened far more consistently than it should have, for sure.
Yeah,
Days.
I had my own plot armor. Like Igor had his plot armor, but I had
Yeah.
my own.
I really like... Okay, here's the greatest thing. You gave that away. Antoine bought the only person to buy a potion from the Greater Chemical to use it, and then he never drank it.
I know, he never drank it. And the best part is, I never rolled another meaningful nat 1 again since giving it up. which was also hilarious.
Eric,
Yo,
you look
some
like
of the
you have
roles are
something you want to
insane in this
say.
game.
Sorry,
John-
Jonathan, yeah, I just want to say thanks for having us. Thanks for putting up with all the bullshit from people at times, and because not every episode is the best episode, but we make do, and we all get better together. Whether that's feedback off the camera that everyone takes wholesomely and acceptingly, and never gives any lip about, and then also
for sure.
everything that happens in game, people are empowered to do. Devin's like, fucking kill me. If that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do. Like, go do it, my man. So I felt free to explore the things that came to my mind for my character, especially when ratting everyone the fuck out. Oh my god!
You loved it. You loved it, didn't you?
It was good.
Loved it.
Fuck
God
them. They're
damn.
traitors.
For the record, in real life,
Yeah.
he's taller than all of us, so we know we can't kick his ass because he's just a lanky motherfucker.
I'm almost
Like
as tall as him.
230.
He just from his giant's cloud just punch us into oblivion.
How tall are you?
6'5", 230.
6'1", 2'5".
Normal human sized, I would die.
I just want to.
I could take a
Yeah.
giraffe
So the
in a
question
fight.
to the room.
I'm not really
John,
good.
Give me 7 feet tall. I don't know what you guys are talking.
Hang on, we gotta roll
Yeah.
for this. Can you take a giraffe
Well-
and fight?
We'll start with John. John, how'd you feel about the ratting out of the team?
Piss me the fuck off.
So
Same, girl. Same.
good. So what my goal is to do, right, is every character should have their thing, right? And for rogues, it's pretty easy to give them the stealth around and report what you see back. Like, you're natural spies. So, looking at the party, while bringing Nathaniel in, who is maybe not the most he was the most trustworthy. Because at the time, we had Igor, who was a murder hobo, Chad, who was a drunken murder hobo. We had Lei Stung, who could just be pushed in any direction. And then Chad
It
then
was
became
funny,
Aurora, who was just actively betraying the Tyrant's Court. We had Syl, who was just unreliable. And were you with KJC, or did you replace KJC?
KJC was there, yeah.
Okay.
KJC and Nathan became friends or whatever, and we're chilling.
Yeah, they were like homies for real.
God, who did you replace?
They helped. Remember, they did the book heist together.
Hey, you know
Yeah,
what?
that heisted the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the
spider
coolest
book.
scenes.
As much as Syl was a
Because after he
murderer,
turned into an elephant.
he donated a lot of money, and he was charitable to hobos.
Well, okay, I'm just saying this from the narrative perspective of, why would the Tyrant bring you into the group? Obviously, it is because he does not trust a single one of these dumb fucks, and he needs someone to report back if anyone's actively going to betray him.
Yeah, after getting cursed 80 billion times, what is even going on over there?
And you know what? It was a good call. Nathaniel stuck by his guns. He ratted them out. He kept the mission first before any personal relationships. He was like what Jack Ryan wants to be in Tom Clancy novels, you know? And that's what I like.
Dropping subtle hints about it too. Oh yeah, I've turned in my report or whatever, and no one ever asked me about it. What's in your report or whatever?
No one cared.
Do you have stuff
Can't
written for
read,
your report that you
asshole.
just never shared? You had hidden memes this whole time?
Exactly.
I will say this, I actually, right before you said that, I was still really fucking pissed about that whole fucking thing, because I'm like, fuck him, I'm figuring out ways Syl's gonna kill him. And I
Good.
have
Oh my
ways that I was gonna lock him in a room and then put sickening radiance in there and just make sure he just fucking couldn't get out, and he fell asleep.
Yes, acute radiation
That's good.
poisoning.
I'm so glad that you personally had a reaction and your character.
I did.
That's how you know we're really role-playing, guys, because if
Yeah.
it transcends your character, you're invested, and that's what I'm always trying to get, right?
So yeah, no, there were like literally every single.
Show of hands.
Figure
Fuck
out.
Nathaniel. Fuck Nathaniel.
But I will say,
I like
No.
Nathaniel. He
Nathaniel
was
was
too
great.
funny.
Come on,
Fucking
no.
Gibby! Hell
It's
yeah!
funny.
Not raising his hand either.
I can't have anything for or against Nathaniel because I literally never saw him until
Yeah, he
this
didn't see him.
session.
Did you
until
did you
this
break
session.
into my warehouse? Did you break into my warehouse?
No.
No, that was Coraline.
That's Coraline. Okay. Yeah.
No, see,
Yeah.
The Saturday Squad. They didn't earn anything.
Coraline is the asshole rogue that stole from other party members. I'm the asshole that killed NPCs. That's the difference. I didn't fuck over any other team ever. I only helped other teams when I could.
For the stream, I'm pointing directly at Gibby in Discord. I'm definitely. Oh my god, it worked out! I'm pointing directly at Gibby now. Oh my god, John, you did it.
I did it.
We did it.
Look at me.
Yeah.
John, did you have
Everybody
any
can
questions
clap
for me?
together. We did
So I've
it.
been ranting and driving the conversation. John, you have any questions for me?
Or any of us.
no, for Eric.
Nope, never mind. Just for Eric. I take it back. I'm
Just
gonna
for
stop
Eric.
sidelining.
He's calculating.
I am
Wait
calculating.
a minute, really quick, guys. Fuck you, Devin.
Fuck you, Jarek.
Damn.
Fuck you, Butters.
That was a pretty good meme of always a new name for Devin's new character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good bit. One of our
Oh.
best.
That was
actually
good.
came from my Ugarest expedition because I did the same thing for Soul Crusher, where his name was, I don't even remember what his original
It is
name
the
was.
most infantile thing. You do not get to claim that that meme was your meme. Everyone does that meme when they're 4 or 6.
I
Rhyming
mean-
is funny, John.
Did it?
I'm
It's
saying-
not.
I'm
No,
saying-
I
I'm
hated the
saying
meme.
I did it earlier and then it got brought over.
I did it first.
I think it was better when I just gave everyone a number.
Yeah,
That was
one
fun.
of the best. That
was
stuck
good.
too.
Who is going to die the first?
I remember writing that down on several occasions and forgetting where I wrote it down.
Igor was
Yeah.
number 1, and he never. Well, he died now, but.
True.
Rip.
I was number 2. I'm
Yeah,
still number
Igor,
2.
I really did lose my money on that bet, and which is saying something because I rarely.
I
lost a
think my
game on
biggest
this.
question for Eric was he had a horrible disadvantage coming into this game because he came in more than halfway until we were close to the end almost. Like you were there for the end of Arc 1 and then we
It
took
was like
like a
20 something episodes in or something.
yeah.
I forget.
Still, right? You came in as like a level 5 character or level 6 maybe? 7? I can't remember exactly.
5 something.
But, like, that must have been rough, right? Or did you find it, like, super easy to find your groove in, like, the party cohesion already?
I did the speed run on the videos beforehand so that I knew some of the memes that were going about. And I'm
Okay.
incredibly extroverted. Story time. We were sitting at general seating for like a theater thing. My whole family takes the whole row like behind, and I walk up. I have concessions with me, and everyone's just sitting there. And I'm like, well, here's all your concessions or whatever. And I go and sit down. And someone's like, hey, should someone join him or whatever? Next person sit down next to me. We're just talking. It's like my new best friend. So I have like, hello, new best friend is what they call it. Like, I'm just talking to everybody. Like, people in stores are like, I can never find somebody to like point me to stuff in the store or whatever. I have like, please talk to me face. Like every single person we walk by, they're like, oh, can I help you with something? And like my partner, she's like, man, does that happen all the time to you? It's like, I don't know. I have like, please talk to me face or whatever. And I'm an extrovert. So hello, new best friend. Let's talk.
It's the Vegeta haircut. People trust Vegeta.
This reminds me of this guy I know, Brian, from my weed store. It's Brian from the weed store. He's like that too. He told me about this guy named Greg who does testing on people's brains who've been abducted.
Same.
So I had a great time, John. And also you have
Real
vetted like
story.
great people to be here. So like it was also like having when you pulled together crews for the other game, everyone you brought to that was super great. Met Nick through that. Met Soul Crusher. Met Brian. Met like other people.
Oh,
Everybody- every time-
Apollo underscore.
the
Nick.
Greg
That's right.
Hansen Miss games.
Yeah, when we did the Miss games together, we always pulled in people who weren't Garbage Town. And it
Yeah,
was
who weren't
awesome.
shitters.
So
sure.
that's why I was like, hey, I need more of John. Like, do you want to play more D&D together? Was like my pitch. And so you're like, oh, do you want to see the things I do? I went and watched them. I was like, this seems good. So you get all of that like social crossover of that. So like all of these people that you play D&D with on Greg's stream, all these people that you invite into your own game have a higher bar than that.
Yeah.
They're going to be good. So there's like that social sign off of like these people are good. And like, so it felt really easy to slip in and fit in. So if anyone out there's watching this and wants to come join the stream or whatever, message John, come on down. Like there's room for more people. So
This is where we put the Raycon
but pay me
sponsorship,
first.
right?
Okay. We are nearing our half hour till we wrap up shop, so we have a few more questions that we can possibly get answers to from each other. They don't need to be directed at me, of course. But I do want to give you guys a sneak peek of the next thing I am working on. Whether or not you guys decide to play in it as we move forward.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Okay, I guess Rumble Roar's out. He's quitting the game.
Oh,
Mike
it was
Tammer.
not a good
No, it's
joke.
okay, Nick.
John, I
get
have a
it, you're
sneak
hanging.
peek for
Good
another thing
joke.
for you.
I'll see you later, Nick.
it's
All
the
right,
art, right?
Less than 3 uwu.
Ooh. What's this?
What are you doing on my bedstep, bro?
Yeah, CK, you have some
That's
artwork
not
to
the
show us.
direction I was.
Yeah, where's the
going.
art, CK? I know your like life is falling apart, but I desperately need the art, man.
Oh yeah, you're responding to me. Okay, I thought.
Hey, go ahead, John.
Hi.
What's this?
I don't
Get
know.
one of these.
Oh my god, no. Fuck you. You're a child. Oh,
I want to increment the Gotham counter. I'm not doing it this time.
true.
Got him.
But half the secret dabs. Okay. Well, it seems like we're
Sure,
all
you can guess what
satisfied with
this
the
is.
campaign.
No. And that is why I'm pushing for Sill to continue, because it's bugging me.
Indeed. Brandon, here, now, has offered to pay me $500 to run a campaign. Maybe a mini campaign, not like a 76 session thing.
No.
I am looking for 3 more volunteers to join him. And if you wish to add to the pot to get more content, feel free, but he's essentially bankrolling the project to finish Sill's quest of becoming immortal.
You do have to call him daddy, though.
Can
will
I
be
be
your
the
boss.
guy who makes the meth in your lab?
Can I'll play as long as under 2 conditions. 1, I'm a minion like character, like I'm like Sill's minion, and 2,
Okay.
I have to talk like this the entire time.
He's
So
not
like,
being-
you have to deal with this the entire campaign.
Yeah, she had to
Beef.
you know, dude. Like we just
Hang on.
help
What was it?
Master.
What was that, Brand?
Only if you're like, what's his face? Fucking. From the movie where it's where they fuck End of Times, where he comes up, he goes, "Hey guys, I'm like his slave and I kind of love him." Channing Tatum when he does the fucking skit for the End of World fucking comedy movie.
Sure.
Where
Oh,
he
what's the?
shows up as a gimp.
Wait, what's the?
I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know.
What's the assistant to that one movie where the guy turns into a llama?
Yes.
Oh, Emperor's New Groove.
Universe New Groove, yeah.
Literally the best Disney movie of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Runt wants to be the llama instead.
Wanna be
Emperor
Cusco?
Cusco?
But it's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be fun.
I can do whatever you want me to do.
Yeah, it'll be
censored.
directly
I don't
after
think
the
it's gonna
events of this, give
Obviously,
or
I'll
take a
not be-
few months.
I won't
Yep.
be run when I play, obviously.
No, you won't be Runt. None.
Hey, John, are you looking at chat?
I am now. Ate 1 chip and can't stop coughing. Are you okay? No,
I'm
don't
okay
gift me
with it.
subs. Immediately remove this.
Yeah.
Owned.
You fool.
I love you.
We're moving to YouTube. This doesn't
Shout outs to Riorin, Kintanime,
Aw.
Hot Dog Burger Bun Cheese, Mr. Underslower Underground,
Understood.
and Timher.
I thank you for the support, but do not gift me subs.
John, fuck you, I love you.
I love
Hey,
you too,
John.
Nick. What, Bran?
Uh-oh.
Devin.
Uh-oh. It's
no.
processing, isn't it? It takes a second.
No, don't do
I
it.
know.
He's gonna do it.
He's
Oh,
not
don't
doing
do
it. He just
money.
wanted to
Don't
say
do
he
it.
hated
Do it.
Devin.
What if
Huh?
it happened the second time?
I heard my name.
Maybe he's not doing it.
It's fine.
You're welcome,
Uh,
Kinta9.
Hey,
That's
Devin.
me.
Shout out to
Yes.
Kinta9 in chat.
Okay.
That's
Hey,
me.
Devin. Hey, Devin.
Yes.
Fuck you.
We will be doing a general posting of interests probably after Saturday. Maybe during the birthday week. I don't know if we're actually going to be doing a birthday special, like on the Twitch or on the YouTubes. We may just do a hangout thing if you guys want to. That, or I'm just going to shit myself to death as if I was a 14th century peasant in a,
Just
I
for
might be
fun.
able to join on my
John-
phone, but
John,
my
you-
PC's been backed up.
John, you know that gives me arousal when you talk about stuff like that. Stop it.
Okay, I will for you. The next thing on our great big bag of bullshit that John is in the production of, we are doing a new campaign. First, we're going to be prioritizing paying customers. I don't know if we're going to be streaming it, in fact. We may do like one version of the campaign to stream. That way I can sell it off or eventually make a module and become like all great
I'll
streamers
coach you through it.
who
John.
think they're gonna try their hat at the game designer world and realize they're shitters. So who knows? But I think one of my main regrets about the God War is there weren't enough gods to war against. Essentially, there were only like 4 or 5. And John has this massive, huge document with like 40 gods and 8 factions of deities that have all roles to play within the grand cosmo mythology, which is a term that Corin gave me, I believe, or I'm claiming he did. That you guys will be playing as the demigods of, the scions empowered by, or the constructs made by. Going on extra planar quests and figuring out grand mysteries on the cosmic scale.
We're assistant to the regional managers.
You are.
Nice.
In
Fancy.
fact, the prologue of the campaign, you guys will start at level 20.
Yes.
Some of you have
Yeah,
already
bro.
seen the rough drafts of these documents. Some of you have not, but those are going to be free to look at upon request, so I'm not going to post that anywhere until someone shows interest in it.
Can you post it on your Pornhub?
Yeah, just for you.
Really?
No.
For real.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
With that all being said, any shoutouts you guys want to make?
Shout out.
You know, because no one ever says it, shoutouts to me for doing ad bits all the time. I think they're hilarious. I think I'm the funniest person that I know, so fuck everyone else who says otherwise.
You are very funny.
Based.
To
That
you, I
that is the
disagree with
base
you,
take.
but I love your enthusiasm.
We all know I was the curly, you were the mo.
Every time I did an ad bit, I loved every second of it, and I was genuinely sad whenever John fucking made me stop.
You want to know why you were happy? Because you were sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh,
Bro.
shit.
And you too could unlock the brand new Tyrant of Tul's
Stop
champion.
this.
Fuck
Just hit-
off.
Just hit your soundboard one more time. Just
Okay,
once.
hang on. I need
Just
to
once.
hook it.
Alright, everyone else do your shoutouts before Gibby ruins the
Yeah.
stream some more.
Alright. Shout out to one of my best friends ever, Launchpad. He does streaming, and he's
Hey.
my best friend. Smile. He
Put
does
it in the
stream now.
chat.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna find his channel right now. Sub.
Based.
Shout
Unless
outs
that's
to
follow.
Coffee Traveler's Kitty, whose tail is wiggly waggling ever so delightfully
I
currently.
thought that was a
She wants to
dog.
be fed, probably.
Bro,
She
how
throws herself
much
on
do
my
you
shoulder.
tell me you're not an animal person without telling me you're not an animal person?
I
makes me,
couldn't
like,
see
hold her
it.
feet,
It's a
though. She, like-
blurry, fuzzy.
It is
animal.
Kitto, clearly Kitto tail. I can
Maybe
hear
for
the
you. Okay, that butt motion I recognize for cats.
yes, Kittos. Sorry,
Devin.
I will shut myself.
Devin, when are we gonna see you again? Are you just gone as soon as you moved to Japan?
No, so I within this next week I'm shipping my computer, so I won't be able to do anything on the PC. But for your birthday stream, hopefully I can join in by phone at least to hang out a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, microphone quality will probably be a little shit, but you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, once I get to Japan, I'll set up my PC, and I mean, hopefully I'll be in another campaign.
Question.
Sooner or later.
While you're there, just because you're so sad, are you going to get one of those thingies where you get the little waifu thingies?
No.
I believe they're called
Definitely
body
not.
Give
pillows.
those to you when you come off the
Send me
plane.
one because they won't directly send it to America.
I got
Wait, did you just link a furry VTuber into my Twitch chat?
That's my friend Jimmy. I mean, fuck.
Jimmy, we're coming for
I
you!
didn't mean to link his
See
name.
us next with Jimmy the VTuber in our next campaign!
Stop, no!
All right.
But shout out to John. Thanks for taking a chance on me, even though you. I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but thanks.
Let's be
Same.
real, I'm farming you for intelligence to sell to foreign government. God, alright, that meme is
no.
too hard-hitting and funny and topical.
It's real.
Boys, can we end this on a dab?
But I got
Are we
something
at the end?
for you. I like sending Nick and his kid super cute things because I buy them for my brother's kid, so I just double
Aw.
down and ship it off to Nick. So
Aw.
thanks Nick for being.
Wait, are you sending me more stuff?
I'm thinking about it.
I love you.
I just keep clicking the button. Like this happened to John. He's like, "Are you sending me wedding photos?" Like during his
Yeah,
birthday.
I got an email one day. It's like, why do I have a portrait for a wedding photographer coming in?
And I had just like screenshotted his like map, so like I don't know if you still have it, John, but like
Yeah, I know it's right over there.
I'm gonna,
Hey,
John. I'm gonna put a plug in. Everyone in chat, anyone who still has points left, throw in your dad points now. This is the end, bitches.
Oh, I spent them all.
hey,
I
guys,
do too.
Can I play us out with a little song?
FYI,
If it rhymes with aid addo edgens, no.
No, it does not. It does not.
Do it, bitch.
remember,
Brand, what were you saying?
All right, I'll mute.
Central.
Now we're canceled.
We did it. Yeah.
Ready?
Ain't no way, bro.